Thursday night at the club I'll never forget. Do you remember the words that I said? One night in my bed you'll never regret. And you, with your pretty brown eyes, I knew, baby, you would change my life. And you opened up my eyes to see I'm excited for our future, but I love our history. Let's throw back to the day that we first met. Let's throw back, I never will forget. Let's throw back to when we fell in love. Let's throw back, babe. I wanna throw back, babe. Is it just me? Don't you miss those nights sexing on the beach, playing Isley Brothers in between the sheets? And now we're taking flights from London to Belize, and we're popping bottles, endless shopping sprees. Still sexy as can be. I knew you're still the only one for me. Yeah, I'm feeling lucky as can be. I'm excited for our future, but I love our history. Yeah, to the day that we first met. Let's throw back. I really wanna know. Let's throw back. Let's go back. Let's throw back. Let's go. I wanna throw back. Oh, come on now. We were making love. Let's reminisce to the first time we. Let's reminisce of the whip. We were making love. Making love. Come on now. Let's throw back. Oh, all I wanna do is throw it back. That's all I wanna do. Come on now. Let's throw back, babe. I wanna throw back, babe. Let's throw back, everybody. Let's throw back. If you love somebody, let's throw back. Talk about the love. Let's throw back. Let's throw. I wanna throw back. Reminisce on how it used to be. Oh yeah.
Tamika Scott. Yeah. As we take this journey through life, we face trials and tribulations. But just know, the enemy is not gonna win, cause the storm is almost over. That's right, the storm is almost over.
Don't you give up, you come too far to turn back now. Hold your head up, it's almost over. So set up to take you to your destiny. It's gonna be alright. Everything happens for a reason. Guess this is your season. Just keep on believing. Blessings you'll be receiving. Well, sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water, and I think of all the things what you're doing, and in my head I paint a picture. Well, since I've come home, well, my body's been a mess, and I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. But won't you come on over? Stop making a fool out of me. Why don't you come on over, Valerie? Valerie. Did you have to go to jail? Put your house on up for sale. Did you get a good lawyer? I hope you didn't catch a tan. I hope you find the right man who'll fix it for you. And are you shopping anywhere? Change the color of your hair. Are you busy? And did you have to pay that fine that you've been dodging all the time? Are you still dizzy? Oh, yeah. Well, since I've come home, well, my body's been a mess, and I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over? Oh, stop making a fool out of me. Why don't you come on over there? Well, sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water, and I think of all the things what you're doing. In my head I paint a picture. Since I've come home, well, my body's been a mess, and I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over? Stop making a fool out of me. Why don't you come on over there?
WIFTBPM.
You are listening to the most dangerous show in the morning. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For Ruthie Moore, for Todd Stroger, I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them Maze said. Mayor Lightfoot, man, we ain't accepting that. We ain't accepting that. Let's go. Yeah. Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts, man. Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case, he was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover-up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you could put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gonna sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to send it. We need some different players in the game to handle business. Too many shady characters like Madigan and Blago. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends, DNA get spilled on. Carjackers out here lurking, trying to get they steal on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Let us give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And I'm concealed carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this is a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Wake up, Chicago. Wake up, world. This is the Mace Jackson Show. Ty starting debates before we go. Ruthie around here talking about she need a blue collar thug. A white collar. She want a white collar with a blue shirt. I don't know what she talking about around here.
With grease
Crystal
on it.
looking around like these people are crazy. And Lil Ron masked up than a mug. Hey, y'all, this is the Mace Jackson Show. One day before New Year's Eve, we are all in the building. Todd, I see you got your you looking like a winter white boy right now.
Well, you and Ruthie hurt my feelings yesterday, so talking about
With your Devo shirt.
Yeah,
I like your shirt, Todd.
So I went home.
She's lying.
And I prayed on it. So if you guys get some plague and pestilence, I might have gone a little bit overboard. That's my bad.
Hey,
That's my bad.
I got one of them X's on my door. I ain't playing no games.
Dang, them poor sheep, red blood all over the door, like bad. No, dog. No,
She said
dog.
she had lamb for Christmas. So.
That's why when the city started putting them red X's on people's doors, I said,
Yeah, red X's. You got to worry about that. And then are you watching? What is The Judge? What is that show on HBO?
let me get your login.
Oh Lord, are we starting this early?
Okay, I'm just saying. I
Look,
just like
can
to
I tell
interject.
you? No. Let me tell you. This conversation went on for hours. After, right? Look. The brothers on the soil like, damn man, Ruthie don't want us to never get paid.
That's not true.
Look, and then Mr. Chicago. Gino is Mr. Chicago. Like for me right now, Gino got this line. He is our official Capadonna, right?
Gino is. If I could bottle him and sell it,
That's Chicago.
he is so Chicago.
He is so Chicago, and he got the combo of West Side, South Side going, right? Because he uses West Side slang with the denob and the West Side slang is a little, but he put a South Side spin on it. But yesterday he's like, y'all asked the question. Yes, this is how you know people listening. He said, "What's the difference between a customer and a consumer?" A customer buy your stuff. A consumer just steal it. Just take it. Just use it up. I was like,
I just put the question out there.
well, look, y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all that was really great yesterday, and it is inspired thought because I'm just telling you all we are looking to move what's in for the Black People Media from a hobby to a business, and so all of these conversations really become important, right? All of these conversations, even though they are based in fun, are also informative as we make our plan to move forward.
I was mesmerized by the rat eater on Two and Herb show.
Oh my God! I can't. Okay, that. So first of all, I'm gonna tell you what that was.
Told y'all, clout is social currency.
That was not. Let me
crazy.
tell you that.
That's what that was.
You know what that was to me? Okay. So in a different life, my cousin. No, hell no. I'm scared. Like, bro, I can't even watch him on the movie. That part in Rambo when he was going through the water and all the rats was
Yeah.
I was nope. And then the other day I tried to tell my Google to play sounds from the ocean. In some kind of way, it got to mice.
And it just showed a video of mice going, and I was like, not before I go to sleep. Nah, I can't do it. But you know what that was to me?
What was that, Maze?
That, and I had to literally turned the sound off and turned away. I can't watch stuff like that.
Man, you gotta prepare yourself.
Nah, I'm not.
No, that was pretty sick. I didn't actually watch it.
Nah,
Are y'all serious?
You know what?
That's because y'all. I feel like y'all grew up in a time where like access to like those types of access to those types of extreme videos. You used to have to go to like the back of the Blockbuster section.
No, I think. To me, those were that to me was crackhead fights elevated.
Yeah, you
Right?
had to go to the Blockbuster.
But or you got them on YouTube. But what
that's like normal content.
you know,
Man, I saw a movie in 1971 at the United Theater, United Artists Theater. Man, that'd have scared y'all too when you were 7 or 8.
Was it in black and white?
No, it was in color. But it was about black people, and it was about gangs, and you'd be like, holy crap, what are they doing?
I don't know, Ty. We done seen some things on these here internets growing
Now,
up.
I'm gonna tell you, the internet. You done seen
We
people
done
get their
seen
head
beheadings.
Yes, but I'm gonna tell you what that video was to me. That video is crackhead fights. So there was a time when there were extreme crackhead fights that were put on. I remember, I'm not gonna say me, but I knew people that participated in the drug selling lifestyle, and after a while, crackheads would do anything, and after you ran out of things to do, people started coming up with extreme things for them to do. I've seen some really crazy things, and I felt like the dude that was eating the rat was probably somebody being taken advantage of in the hood, and somebody realized they can make money off of them. And so while dude is doing it, and he seemed all cool, he really is the same crazy dude that'll be the shooter on the block.
I agree, but see, what you probably don't know is the dude who was kind of coaxing him to do it, he's been doing those types of viral videos for a minute.
I'm not debating that.
I'm saying like that's like his thing, and now he done moved on to let me get a mark to do it.
That's my point.
I agree.
That's my point. And so it just reminds me of when the fellas used to make the crackhead do stupid, crazy stuff that could endanger their lives or whatever for entertainment. And that, to me, was what that was. And the fact that it made $30,000 means that we're going to see videos of people who are at their lowest.
We're gonna see. We already do see that.
I
Y'all
know.
late to the party, man.
I know. You know what? I do a very good job of filter. Like, I really have stopped watching these police snuff videos and all of this stuff because it's like it really wears on my brain. It's like I told you, I can't even sleep over the black stuff. Add that mess into it, and I just can't even make it. Look, y'all, this is the Maze Jackson Show. We gonna talk about Ruthie talking about these crackhead fights. No, I'm just joking. Like the normalcy of rat eating. No, we're not gonna talk about any of that.
That was mild.
Guess what?
I can give you some websites if you trying to see some stuff.
Ruthie, I'm not.
That's okay.
But can I tell you though? The thing is, that's the reason that I recognize that what was happening is because I have seen stuff, right? And you there's a point in your life when there's a point in your life when you're laughing at that, and then there's a point when you get pricked. I got pricked. Like my conscience got pricked when I was in the midst of the life. While that was entertainment and sport.
Kind of like going to the strip club and wondering what went wrong.
Yes. And so, like, those type of things I don't push or I don't promote or I don't get involved because I recognize what it is. It's the Maze Jackson Show, though. We'll be back.
WIFTBPM. Today we learned that a Kentucky state grand jury found that the officer responsible for killing Breonna Taylor. Rulings like this one set us back and come as yet another challenge to the hard work and progress we've already made. It means we fight even harder against the systems of inequality and injustice designed to keep too many of us down. We will and we must continue to say her name. We will and we must continue to demand justice. And we will and we must do everything in our power to prevent any more names from being added to this role, like George Floyd, or closer to home, Rekia Boyd, and Laquan McDonald, and too many others. I want you to know that I support you, and will do everything in my power to protect you.
Regarding the CBS 2 story last night about the raid on the social worker's home, why did your administration go to court to try and prevent the body camera video from being broadcast? And why is your administration asking a federal judge to punish Miss Young for sharing video of her own home being raided?
And I watched that video. Now, this case was litigated in federal court. The federal judge put in place an order. There's allegations that she has violated that. A federal judge put rules in place. It's for that judge to determine whether or not that was appropriate. I'm not going to sit here and second guess a federal judge or how the information related to that matter is handled. That's for that judge who I know and is very competent and I'm sure will be fair in assessing.
Because COPA has not yet made a decision in 22 months on this.
I just, look, we got to fess up and we got to clean it up.
You have the wrong place! You got the wrong house! You got the wrong house!
We will and we must continue to say her name.
Should be. Had no enforcement inflicted of a house.
This ain't a regular love, babe. It's that waking out your sleep with me massaging your feet, babe. It's that anything you want, I'm only here to please you. Baby, you're in my command. Your kiss sends me a shot of dopamine. Had an interest in us until I met you, and I don't know if it's real or is it just a phase I go through, but I feel that it's true. We don't need no labels, babe. What we got is something different. We don't need no labels, babe. Lady, we don't need no labels. That what we have is something special. For sure, for sure. I don't feel it's a one night stand. No. It's that look you in your eyes. Make love in paradise. Our one life stand. It's that sweep you off your feet. Give you everything you need. That's what I'm feeling. It's that don't pick up the phone, cause we wanna be alone. And I never thought I'd feel this way, then you came along and proved me wrong. Oh no, I never had an interest in us until I met you. And I don't know if it's real, or is it just a phase I go through, but I feel that it's true.
You are tuned into the Mace Jackson Show. All y'all do not want to hear the behind. That's subscribable content. Behind the show, behind the scenes.
Nope.
Yep. Ruthie, like I wouldn't be. You be like, I'm not saying.
Yeah,
nothing.
Ruthie would be quiet.
That's where we had the most fun at.
You know what? I'm gonna tell y'all what this is, the Mace Jackson Show. So look, let's do this. Let's do some headlines. In case you did not know, we got blizzarded. Yesterday, I was up on 54th, and you couldn't see out. And when I came outside, my car, like I pulled up, there was no snow.
Right.
When I left, an hour and a half later, it was not a dusting. It was literally an inch of snow I like had to find a snow brush and get it off my car. Then I went to get my boy who was playing basketball, and I went upstairs for like 15 minutes, and then it got covered again.
Mm-hmm.
It is
every year I ask myself, why do I do this? Why do I stay?
Because you want Madigan to keep.
I mean, as a melanated spirit, I be needing the sun to
I do wonder
recharge
often.
my batteries.
I do like the sun.
Right, just cotton grows there.
I had Hans go out and shovel the snow. They said,
Really?
we have any salt? And I was like, yeah, it's on the stairs. And they came back and said, how much left? He said, none. I said, that was $34.
Oh, what kind of salt you buying?
Right.
The Pet Safe salt or
Let
something?
me tell you
Yes.
what.
You are so considerate.
You better. Carrie would be upset. But we have one of the things I do like is though when you come outside and like the snow is like they snow blowed it already.
Who's they? Who's they?
know.
Ruthie, you know they?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, the snowblower people.
We don't know them.
They come in snowblow. They don't come in snowblow your.
We ain't got no
then, like-
association.
Mm-mm. My association
But
is
y'all done got the neighborhood association of black snowplowers. Y'all need to call
Man,
Brandon Tomlin.
We live way in a black neighborhood.
Call Brandon Tomlin. He could get you, man. Tell him May sent you too. You know, Brandon. Terrence from the Bigs. His brother owns a snowplow. See, Ruthie.
Are you serious?
Look, Ruthie, like he blue collar too.
No. I just always look to support like black
Right.
service
That's-
providers,
that's
and I
what-
would love not to have to shovel out my stuff.
I have
There's
no problem
another
with shoveling
solution to
snow,
that,
though.
but I'm gonna let. There's another solution there, but we're gonna
I
let
just go
that
out there and do it myself. I got a snowsuit. Man, always trying to barter. Boy, that's some currency in it.
I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you.
It's like Bitcoin. Okay, never mind.
Where can you trade it in though? All right, y'all.
The dark web.
All right.
That damn dark web. I'm telling you. All right. Did you see no Fed charges in the Tamir Rice case? Shout out to Crystal for reminding me this morning. I was listening to it and I was seething, and then I got my coffee and then I stopped seething. But Tamir Rice, all the way 2014. We're going to talk about that because there were no federal charges. But I don't know if we can't get it locally, then why should we expect that it would happen federally? Right? And I was thinking, like, how did this case get to the feds in a city like Cleveland? Then I think about how did Jason Van Dyke only get 3.5 years in a city like Chicago? It's like, where's our political power, clout, muscle? Was it a white judge? Was it a black judge? You know, black people always want to be fair. Let me just tell you, in my estimation, and if them cops are still rolling into me, I'm not going to even say that. I'm going to move on. The GOP blocked the stimulus, $2,000.
We saw that coming.
I mean,
Did y'all see how fast they put their signature and that them checks supposed to come out?
Ding.
That's
Yep.
how I know reparations is possible. I don't care what nobody say. It was that easy.
Are white people getting reparations?
Yeah, they get
Then it ain't
reparations
that
every day.
easy.
White people are getting reparations. These checks are white people reparations. Look, black unemployment has been at 25% forever. White unemployment reaches 10. They like, open up the bank,
my gosh,
print
the
some
United
more
States is
money.
crumbling.
Right, print the money the white people can't pay their mortgage.
This is devastation.
Dang,
We're going to put a moratorium on these evictions.
Speaking of moratoriums, instead of a morgue, the Chicago opened its first mass vaccination site.
Yes.
Malcolm X College.
Nah, they ain't do it to Malcolm.
Oh,
Malcolm X is like the medical.
The medical place.
So
You right.
It is
makes
the
sense.
medical place.
You right, but still.
I'm just letting y'all know.
It's symbolism.
I'm just letting y'all know.
Good symbolism.
Malcolm X, if you go to Malcolm X and you look at the population of the school, they're going to turn that bad boy to Cesar Chavez when we ain't looking. I'm telling you, be careful. But you know, I think, have you noticed that every picture of everybody that they got taking the shot besides the presidents and is black? No, I'm saying like everybody, and then they release a story to tell you that they ain't passing out the shots on the South and West Side.
You know what this kind of reminds me of a little bit?
What?
All of those milk commercials where everybody had the milk mustaches to promote milk, but then you later learn that the whole dairy industry is really a corporation and an industry, and that it really has nothing to do with health and healthy bones, and that the whole milk program for the USDA is just really to prop up the dairy industry.
You didn't know that?
when I learned that, it made me think about the milk commercials.
You was like, I'm not paying for no more milk.
No, because when you little, you see all them people with the milk mustaches. You think, yes, milk is healthy. It's to build up my bones. I'm finna be strong.
I guess that was
It's
older.
marketing.
Yeah, it's all marketing.
That's how.
Anything on
That's
TV?
that's what I feel about the vaccine.
Ju-
That's how I feel about the
Okay,
vaccine.
got
That's
you.
what I was getting at.
Okay, got you. I was doing the Todd to you. Like I was like, you trying to get to a point. I'm like, I'm gonna drag you away from it. No, you will not get your point across. CPS staff asked to work from home. A lot of those requests got denied. We're gonna talk about this. I have a very new, with the passing of my big bro DK, I have a very different perspective on forcing people back into these locations. We're gonna talk about it. Community groups vow to cut 20% of violence for next year.
Well,
that's because they ran the numbers up this year. So look, here's the thing:
they're trying to get back to normality.
Violence is up. What is it? Almost 50%, 75%. Murder is up like 50%. So now they're gonna decrease it by 20 to get it.
It still won't be what it was before.
Right, exactly. But what I thought it was it was a clear statement. I'm gonna point out some things, but I think that though, first of all, it was the community groups. The story was the community groups, and the face of the community groups was Arnie Duncan, right? So the face of community groups now, and when I went to go look at all the organizations he named, they had black employees, but the leaders were all white or Latino. And they are the community groups, and then when you look underneath them and you see all the other black groups that they fund, you realize,
right?
Oh, Lord, where is Henry English when you need him? Okay, I'm gonna talk about that a little later too. Preckwinkle forms a public defender selection committee. I think that Angela Kilpatrick, our listener who runs the courthouse in Bridgeview, should be pushed, and I think somebody should, like, she's not political, but I really do feel like in the space of the public defender, we need somebody that we know has the best interests of our people for justice.
We'll see who's on this group.
Okay, well, that's
committee.
right. We'll check that out. Because I don't know if it's political or not, but I do think that, when you got people that...
Everything's political.
Ruthie, we'll be back after these messages. It's the Maze Jackson Show.
WIIFTVPM.
Where my steppers at?
This is retired State Senator Ricky Hendon. This is my new song, Be My Christmas. It's on my House Party CD, produced by house music icons King Farley. It's available on my website, HollywoodHendon.com, various streaming platforms, and CDs. The album also has songs like We Getting Lit and Rona Money. Get the House Party CD in time for Christmas and New Year's Eve. This is our new song, We Getting Lit. Just in time for New Year's Eve. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Go to HollywoodHendon.com and get my music. Let's bring in 2021. Ricky Hollywood Hendon. Don't forget me, y'all.
This is the king of house music, Farley Jack Master Funk, and I endorse Hollywood Ricky Hendon. Let's go to work.
I miss your kiss. Oh, your kiss is one of a kind. It feels so nice. Girl, you do it right. I miss. Oh, girl, you don't go too fast. You take your time. Just how I miss. Hey. Oh, you kiss it, then I'm drifting off your love. Keeps me floating, girl. I miss.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Miss Ruthie Moore is here. Lil Ron is sitting in for Sonia Escobar. And we got the intern in the building. The intern is working on the poll on the social media question of the day. It's going to be a poll. So if you're on Facebook Live, check it out. We're going to ask the social media question of the day. Will a $600 stimulus check really help?
It'll pay a bill for me.
Okay, so I was just thinking about me. Okay, can I tell y'all about me and my cousin?
Man, you ain't regular.
I'm beyond regular. So I'm going to tell you about me.
Look at his boots. Is he regular?
Yes. These are regular boots. The question is, Todd over here trying to talk about my boots when he got on multi-million. See, he got on vintage
these boots. Are like 6. Yeah, that's right. They're about 6 years old. I'm missing an eyelet.
Oh, man, that's what give them character, man.
Why do you know the name of that part of the shoe?
Ruthie.
Ruthie,
who
you
doesn't know what
everything about your shoes.
Man, y'all are interesting.
Ruthie, you got to get coat. See.
Go ahead. You better not saying culture. You better not saying culture.
You know you're wearing your DePaul hat. You can't be acting like
this because I got a student loan payment due, so I gotta feel good about myself.
So it is the social media question of the day. Will a $600 stimulus check really help? So I'm gonna tell you. Okay, I'm gonna frame it. I'm gonna do today and I'm gonna do the past. And I'm going to put them together. So, in the past with me and my cousin, there was a time like, have you ever owed like a lot of money? Like a lot.
What's a lot more than a stack?
What is a
lot? I'm talking about like, have you ever owed like 10 grand?
To a person? Or like a
person, people, entity? Like, have you ever had a 10 grand? And I'm not talking about like a car note or a long-term loan. I'm talking about
like
10 grand
IRS?
due. Like, no, 10 grand due. Like,
Pete's.
10 grand.
Yeah, right. Who would I owe 10 grand?
Not quite 10. I ain't quite made it to 10.
Okay. So, there's a couple things. So, but I'm giving you a number. And I'm giving you a number that I hope will. So, if you got 10 grand due, and you get 600, right? Now, hear me out. You got 10 grand due, and you get 600.
What you supposed to do?
Do you pay a bill?
No.
Hello.
I know where you're going with this.
Do you pay a bill or do you go to your cousin's friend and be like,
you better go to your cousin, re-up.
Look at Ruthie. Ruthie, like, you can turn that 600
you better go
into
re-up.
12 and 12 into 24. And okay.
Or put it in the air to forget about that other.
That's my
11,
point.
so.
That's really, Ruthie said put it in the air. So that's my point. So I was gonna say, right, like
it's laughable.
I was saying $600. If your mortgage,
how about just rent, Maze?
What?
The average rent. We ain't even got to talk about a
well,
mortgage.
see, that's my point.
Like it's laughable.
So, but it's laughable. But that's my question.
But we do live in Chicago too.
Where can you get $600 rent?
Well, I don't know about.
Oh, you can get $600 rent
without a subsidy. Like, do that still exist? 600?
No. Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah, you can. You gonna be living in one room in Pembroke
with 3 other people.
But will a $600? Because people are like, man, give me my check, give me my money. But realistically, is that money going to help your circumstances, or is it going to self-medication? And I'm not tripping because I'm just telling you. So I remember, now $600, if you know you got more coming, is one thing, right? But if you got $600, somebody hand you $600 towards a $10,000 note. Are you really gonna put that towards a bill? What you gonna do? Break it up amongst 6 bills and give everybody? I got 60 for you, 60 for you. Are you gonna go fill up your gas tank?
That's like throwing money away.
Right? Are you gonna fill up your gas tank? Go make sure your refrigerator is full for the week. Maybe order you a little Uber Eats. Go to the dispensary or go to the liquor store.
Man, you better not go spend your money in no dispensary.
That's all 600.
I'm trying.
Okay, my bad. I'll be quiet. Go ahead. Set it up, mate.
To not get nobody in trouble.
nobody gonna get. Man, stop playing.
Okay, you act like these white people.
If you gonna spend that $600 at a dispensary,
you playing yourself.
You playing yourself because you finna pay all that in taxes.
Yes, I give you that. So
support your local.
Answer the question. Social media question of the day. Open up the phone lines. 872-259-7474. 872-259-7474. Will a $600 stimulus really help? Now, look. Crystal says the options for the poll question of the day are run me my money. No, we're all doomed anyways. At this point, who knows? So if you're on Facebook Live, answer the poll. But if you live, if you're up and you're around, give us a call. 872-259-7474. What you gonna do with your stimulus check? I'm not getting one. They don't give. I ain't got a stimulus check. One of these times. So I ain't even tripping. And I didn't get none of them $10,000 grants that everybody on Hermitage got.
Good.
Right. But actually, so give us a call. 872-259-7474. $600 stimulus. Is it really going to help you? Let's start with you, Todd.
It's going to help. I'd say every little bit helps. I'm taking it. If they send it to me, I'm taking it and I'm putting it on something.
You put it on. You ain't going to put it on like a bag. You ain't going to put it on a sack.
I don't even know what a sack is.
Yes, you do. Have on a sack.
Ask Hans.
A sack.
A sack. I vape. Thank you very much.
That's paying something. It's gonna pay part of. Let's see. What's the big bill I have? Dang. Part of Claire's tuition.
Okay.
or something like that.
Okay, I can see that. All right, Ruthie Moore. They send you $600 check.
Thank you, government. And I don't know, Maze. I would probably use it to do something that I want to do, like invest it in some stocks or something.
What
Y'all
stock you
invest
investing $600 in?
Yeah, that's
now
a good idea.
you know you can buy pieces of stocks with these new apps. So I've been thinking about playing the stock market.
You should.
Thank you, Todd.
It's not a game.
Yes, it is.
No. A game means there's chance.
Oh, what is it then?
The people who invest in stocks, they always gonna win. They know it. That's why they play it.
But that's why they got y'all around here playing on apps. Why they around here with algorithms.
You got to start somewhere.
I'm with you on that. Okay,
you got to start somewhere. So
yeah,
I'm
Ruthie gonna invest her $600.
Mm-hmm.
What do you watch? Netflix, Hula, invest in something like that you know.
You know what? I'm actually quite good at predicting trends.
Oh.
And I probably would have made a really good stockbroker because I'm a sociologist. And so if I could just get the technical side of trading down.
Oh, so you could be a day trader.
I don't know about all that, but I just know that maybe 5-10 years ago, I'd be just predicting stocks, just talking to people. And now I'm looking back like, dang, girl.
Peter Lynch said, buy what you like.
Buy what you like, but also predict them trends. Because there's a bunch of people getting rich right now in the pandemic. So if you're able to kind of
if you bought Zoom, you got rich.
Yeah, or if you
buying electric cars, you getting rich.
I'm really interested in cannabis stocks because if you
Canadian stock market.
And if you I'll give y'all a little tip, but if you look at the approved the federal that's where the
it might be late.
Your money.
In some of those it might be late though.
Yeah,
because
that's what the experts say, that if you know it now, then they knew it 6 months ago.
That's okay because
it's still growing.
Exactly. That's okay. It might bounce down, but it's gonna bounce back up.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I'm gonna just say. So I was just thinking about $600, and this story reminds me of a story in the Bible. Remember the story in the Bible about the father that gave all of his kids money?
Mm-hmm. The three sons.
One son.
That's the Old Testament or the New Testament?
That's Old Testament, I believe.
Okay.
One son went to dug a hole, put the money in a hole. One son went and invested and lost something, and one son went and turned it into bazillions of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
And who got slapped?
Who?
The one who dug and put it in the hole because he went and spent it on. He didn't do nothing.
He didn't do nothing with it.
Oh.
So y'all gotta think about what y'all gonna do with this $600. When we come back, I want to ask y'all, what do you plan to do with your $600? I'm gonna tell you, honestly, if somebody gave me $600 towards my monthly expenses, it really probably would be more depressing. And when we come back, I want to talk about what do you need monthly? Like, if there was a basic monthly salary, could black people live? What month? Like, if you gave a number, how much does your family need to live off of a month? Is it 10 stacks a month?
Ooh.
7,500? Like, what's the, like, you know, they're talking about this universal basic income.
What's the stack again?
1,000.
No.
But how much money, you know, I was thinking, because, again, if the $600 towards my what I got to pay would really be
enough for you to call your bill people and be like, okay, here go a little bit.
No, I'd be calling my cousin.
Faith.
I'll call my cousin and be like,
it ain't gonna work.
What we gonna do? I gotta get a better plan than this. It's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back.
WIIFTVPM. Introducing your trusted source for high-quality black emojis, better known as Blackmoji. We believe black is beautiful, and that beauty should be reflected in the digital market. Now there is an app that does just that, starting with Black Greek letter organizations. Blackmoji D9 offers more than an emoji app. It is a cultural experience of black excellence. Download the app in the Apple or Google Play Store to access a specially curated catalog of emojis representing the Divine Nine. Use the emojis to celebrate Black Greek events, acknowledge current events, support social causes, and learn about esteemed Black Greek members who blaze the trail of Black history. A portion of every subscription goes toward a scholarship fund specifically for members of Black Greek letter organizations to help keep the legacy alive. Download the Blackmoji app today.
Without it, I go through withdrawal. 'Cause nothing even matters at all. Nothing even matters. Nothing even matters. Nothing even matters. Nothing even matters.
These buildings can drift out to sea. A natural catastrophe, but there's no place I'd rather be. 'Cause nothing even matters to me. Nothing even matters. Nothing even matters. Nothing even matters.
You're part of my identity. I sometimes have a tendency to look at you religiously. 'Cause nothing even matters to me.
Nothing even matters. Nothing even matters. Nothing even matters. You won't find me at no store. I have no time for manicure.
You are tuned into the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger, Miss Ruthie Moore, Lil Ryan in the building, as well as the intern around here trying to be funny with
Crystal.
the poll question.
Her name is Crystal.
Her name is the intern. I told her she was not the intern. She's the associate producer right now. So now if anything goes wrong with the show today, we're blaming Crystal. Right? Look, she's like, look, dang, are you a millennial? If you're a millennial, we can't blame you. You like that Generation Z
Yeah,
stuff.
she a millennial.
No, she's Generation Z.
What year was you born, Crystal? Oh my God.
Right.
Girl, you a baby up in these streets.
1998.
98?
That I'm just telling you. That's crazy. Like, yeah, that's crazy, right?
98?
Did you see Ty just blink and close? And here's the bad part. 98 and she's still an adult. That means I'm really old. Like, remember when you used to go to the store and you see, well, actually, when I went to the store, when I turned 21, they didn't even have the sticker that said, if you were born on this day, it was just like,
y'all
you
just
had to show
buying cigarettes for each other?
I didn't buy cigarettes.
No.
No. I was at the Nazarene church watching everyone else have fun. All right, y'all. It's the Mace Jackson Show. So, will this $600 stimulus check really help? And then I was asking because, you know, Salim has talked about universal basic income. And I was wondering, how much money do you think the average black family needs? Like, if you were to calculate where every black, like, right now, if every black family got a check every month to help them cover all of their expenses, how much would that check need to be?
Is it children in the home?
Yeah. Ruthie said $2,500
minimum.
Todd, if you needed a check every month that took care of you and was universal basic income, how much would you need to survive?
Are we talking about me? Or are we talking about
the average black
anybody?
family? Well, let's say the average black family.
The average black family.
How much would that check need to be? I would say it needs to be about $7,500 a month.
Actually, a study I wrote said that $80,000 a month should cover everything. So
$80,000? $8,000 a month?
No, I'm sorry, $80,000 a year. So that's somewhere about your figure.
So $7,500. So yeah, I think that if you gave every black family $80,000 a year, I think they could subsist. Now, Ruthie, you say $2,500 a month
minimum.
What do you think the average black
everybody's gonna be living in Pembroke?
Well, so the idea of like a universal basic income is not like to supplement your whole income. I think that people shouldn't have to worry about housing expenses and food expenses.
Oh, so this is an idea.
Okay, yeah, no, there is. It's Salim talks about it. Whatchamajigam, one of the aldermen, the Indian alderman.
So the idea, like, okay, so the universal basic income idea is like, okay, in the future, machines are going to be taking over all of these jobs, right?
Yeah, you'll be working for a machine one day, Ruthie.
So how is the average everyday person going to earn a living? And if people can't make money in American society because we don't have enough quote unquote workers to fill these positions, then it's going to put people in a position where they need a universal basic income to survive. I think that every American should have low cost housing and free food. Those are the things that I think we shouldn't have to worry about. Food, medical, and housing.
You're a socialist.
No, I'm not. I'm a person who thinks that those industries are used to pillage.
Well, you are a socialist by definition.
No, I'm not. I rebuff them labels.
They're all kind of socialists.
No, you're not putting me in a box. I'm not a socialist. I'm an average everyday person that think that the rent and mortgages are too high.
The rent is too damn high.
Healthcare costs are exploding.
You could be average and all that, but if a socialist came up and with that idea running, you know what you do?
What?
You'd vote for him.
No, I'm still rebuffing your labels, but I think that a universal basic income should cover those basic things. I think that's the idea. It's a basic.
I feel like that's when you get the gray houses. Everybody living in tiny houses, and they be like,
actually, we're already there. That is what the New Deal was.
What, the gray houses?
Well, no, what Ruthie was suggesting.
Hans
and I were actually discussing something like this because I said, well,
that Hans is filling your mind with all type of crazy stuff, man. Who's running the house?
I said, look at Japan. You see how Japan has these, they're not really skyscrapers, but they're little apartments on top of little apartments. And, they go up 30 stories. And when I say a little apartment, I mean like efficiencies.
I've seen that too. They say you can go there and get solace. It's minimalism at its greatest. I just think this,
Is that what minimalism is? Solace?
You know how sometimes people get like Link or EBT? I think everybody should get that. That should be a federal program where our food is free. It's subsidized.
We gonna be eating grits?
No. You should be able to use your card to buy whatever you want. No restrictions.
That's what they do at the Arab Corner store. And that's how they trade guns for food stamps. Ruthie like, I hate you, Maze. You always got to be raining on somebody's parade. I'm gonna tell you what. I think that you did a whole description, and I was gonna say, but if you want to, you could also just create a pandemic, and since the machines are gonna be running everything anyway, have a pandemic and start killing off people. You don't need as many.
Dang, Mace.
Don't tell me, dang. Talk to Bill Gates.
That's nothing new either.
Talk to Bill Gates.
Thomas Malthus wrote about this in 1600, but he wasn't the only one. There was a whole bunch of people. But his theory is that as things get better, people have more children. And then after you have more children, you don't have enough resources for them. So then you got to figure out what to do again. Then things get better, and then people have more children, and it's just a cycle.
And then they just say, so in the meantime, why don't we just weed out some of the black people? Let's just pluck them. Hey, y'all.
That's life imitating art, or art imitating life. That's The Purge.
That is The Purge. That is also Margaret Sangster. Shout out to Planned Parenthood. I'm sorry, eugenics in the mud.
Here y'all go.
Yes, he's right about that, but I agree.
Okay, so basically y'all with Tucson, he said, you better buy a gun.
Maze buys Soylent Green every morning.
I bought a gun. I've been had a
Maybe
gun.
that's what that 600 should go for.
Man, shoot. If you just getting there, you might be a little late. You still got to buy the bullets. They trying to raise the price on them. All I'm gonna say this, y'all. I would be curious to know, like, what do you think the average black family in Chicago survives off of? Like, do you think it's really $80,000? Do you think the average black family in Chicago is putting $80,000 under the roof? Like, what do you think?
So you're saying with government subsidies?
Yeah, I'm saying right now, if you were to survey all the black people in Chicago, right, top to bottom, and come up with an average.
That number's too big.
Okay, but an average. Lil Ron say 50K.
No, are we talking about an actual number that we think people are doing, or what we think they can do?
No, what they're making. Tucson says $28,000 a year. I'm going to tell you that I know people that have never had a job that maintain a house and family, but they live in a hybrid economy.
What you mean by hybrid economy?
They work in a job, not as a criminal, but they work in a job. They
wait. Let me throwing them words out. What's a jab?
It's a pack of heroin or a pack of cannabis.
Okay.
Or a pack of...
okay. So they supplement their income.
They supplement their income with drugs, with a combination of illicit activities from CD sales. I was listening to Herb and 2 yesterday.
Oh, okay.
But, like, there is an illicit underground economy that exists in the black community that that $28,000, I can't fathom $28,000 a year. That might be, like, maybe a quarter. But if you think about, there are actually people that are surviving off of $28,000 a year. You got to ask yourself, what is that condition? Like, $28,000 a year. And, you know, I really don't like to agree with I said what I said. But the more I thought about that conversation yesterday, if you are making $28,000 a year, right, divide that by 12, what's that? $2,500 a month? Yo, that ain't even rent. That ain't even mortgage.
Think about the standard of poverty. Like, you have to be super duper, I'm gonna say super duper poor, but that poverty, that 500% below the poverty line, like, you got to be like almost, I ain't gonna say dirt poor, but you got to be pretty bad to even get assistance.
How many people are living under those conditions, though? That's my question.
They got to be pretty bad because we got a lot of people with assistance.
But see, the thing is, you got to think about those people who are under those conditions. But what about the people that are just over, who don't then qualify for a lot of this stuff, but out here struggling because they don't meet that poverty guideline?
I'm still tripping on Lil Ron saying 50,000.
Man, 50K, that's a come up.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I just 50,000 is a lot of money. Like,
no. I mean, compared to what? Well,
that's double. But I'm thinking, like, how many times do we drive through neighborhoods and the houses and the people that are living in those houses make less than $28,000 a year? And then you got to ask yourself, how do they survive?
How many people living in a house?
I'm with you though. But even at that, that's poverty compounded. That then forces you out the door. That, man, when you forced out the door, you do become a predator. If you 28,000 and there's 5 people in the house, somebody ain't eating. Somebody is figuring out this hunger ain't working. Just you know what?
Oh no, I totally agree. I think the system is designed to force black people into criminality.
Woo! Say it again for the people in the back.
Go ahead, Ty.
I mean, I don't think I'm saying anything that's, mind blowing. I think everybody sees it. Even white people probably. Well, no, they don't know that.
They think we're inherently criminal.
Yeah, they do. That's a good point.
Can I just tell you, I had an epiphany on air.
Ding.
I literally.
No.
I had an epiphany on air. I think the Herb and 2 argument about crime and poverty in our neighborhoods just clicked. If that makes sense. Like, I feel like it just clicked for me. Right? Like, okay, if you only had. I was just thinking about, like, some of my homies who I hung out with, but they probably did not make $28,000 in legitimate income. And I think about what they did to supplement the income. And it was completely approved throughout the house. Right? So mom knew, grandma.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all saying it like, yeah, but you got to remember, like, in my crib, it was like, hey, dog.
I know plenty of, I call them multi-generational families that you got a certain element living in the house because they do provide a certain level of, they provide for the house. They might be doing illegal and illicit things, but somebody got to eat.
Man, Charlie.
That's when they say, these black women out here providing shelter to these criminals, and they know they sons, and them, they boyfriends doing these and da-da-da. Well, if they illegally living there because you set the guidelines for this subsidized housing at this amount, then they gonna have to sneak and have they baby daddy who do this illicit stuff because they need to get this money to feed these kids.
You know what, man? I'm going to encourage everybody to tune into the Herb and Allen show. When we come back, it's the Maze Jackson show. Oh, excuse me. Did they call it the Ruthie Moore show? Ruthie Moore.
Saw that.
Look,
they only don't know. They only do that because they're trying to divide and conquer.
They're not going to divide and conquer us because I want everybody to listen to the Herb and Al show, too. It's the Maze show. It's the Maze Jackson show. We'll be back.
WIFTV-PM. Today we learned that a Kentucky state grand jury found that the officer responsible for killing Breonna Taylor. Rulings like this one set us back and come as yet another challenge to the hard work and progress we've already made. It means we fight even harder against the systems of inequality and injustice designed to keep too many of us down. We will and we must continue to say her name. We will and we must continue to demand justice. And we will and we must do everything in our power to prevent any more names from being added to this roll, like George Floyd, or closer to home, Rekia Boyd, and Laquan McDonald, and too many others. I want you to know that I support you and will do everything in my power to protect you.
Regarding the CBS 2 story last night about the raid on the social worker's home, why did your administration go to court to try and prevent the body camera video from being broadcast? And why is your administration asking a federal judge to punish Miss Young for sharing video of her own home being raided?
And I watched that video. This case was litigated in federal court. The federal judge put in place an order. There's allegations that she has violated that. A federal judge put rules in place. It's for that judge to determine whether or not that was appropriate. I'm not going to sit here and second guess a federal judge or how the information related to that matter is handled. That's for that judge who I know and is very competent and I'm sure will be fair in assessing.
Because COPA has not yet made a decision in 22 months on this?
I just, look, We got to fess up and we got to clean it up. We will and we must continue to say her name.
Should be. There's no embarrassment inflicted about.
You are listening to the most dangerous show in the morning. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For Ruthie Moore, for Todd Stroger, I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them Maze said, Mayor Lightfoot, man, we ain't accepting that. We ain't accepting that. Let's go. Yeah. Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts, man. Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case. He was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover-up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you could put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gonna sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to send it. We need some different players in the game to handle business. Too many shady characters like Madigan and Blago. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends, DNA get spilled on. Carjackers out here lurking, trying to get they steal on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Let us give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And I'm concealed carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks.
Programs.
It's the Maze You gotta be. Hey man, nah, I didn't put mine down. It's the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host Ruthie Moore, co-host Todd Stroger. Running the boards is Lil Ron. I ain't gonna even do like they do you at night. Shout out to Lil Ron. We might let Lil Ron in on our team. We might let him in on our team since they we might let Lil Ron in. But you know, I'm gonna tell y'all, I want to encourage y'all, check out the Herb and Al show.
Who is Al?
Call me Al. I don't know, man. I'm just telling you. Everybody want to keep on. You want to keep it up, huh? Y'all want to wake up early? You want to wake up early and see how it's done? You like, I know y'all looking, y'all like, what is he doing? There's no boost. Them numbers, like we wake up like this. We woke up like this. That's why, right. Whether it's the Ruthie Moore show, whether it's the Todd Stroger show, whether it's the Maze it could even be the Lil Ron show. It could even be the Lil Ron show. You see them numbers? One of these days, you know what I'm saying? Look, Lil Ron back there, he like, look, Lil Ron is in My Bodyguard. Remember the movie My Bodyguard?
I do.
Whitney Houston.
Oh, God, Ruthie Moore. Actually, I was listening to the Bodyguard soundtrack the other day. That's a really great soundtrack. All right. And Tennille, are you apologizing? Hold on. Don't get me started. Don't y'all look, y'all. It's the last of the year. It's the end of the year. All right, y'all. Let's get back to some other stuff. Best of 2020. What was the best of 2020?
By 2020.
Well, the show. I guess that's about it for me. I can't think of anything else really happening.
Wait. So before I go all the way super stupid negative, I need y'all to think about what was the best of Black 2020. Chicago.
With the media.
Bless you.
With the media.
Yeah.
I'm a.
Anything else happen?
I'm giving it to the uprisings. I think that was the best of 2020.
Ooh, because Ruthie
ain't telling us she was sitting on the couch with her
popcorn,
her blanket, and a rabbit slippers,
and a walkie-talkie.
No.
She had a walkie-talkie.
Listen.
Go to the left. The police are moving. Operation left.
Hey, y'all know what really happened that day when it really popped off? I kept noticing all this traffic in my neighborhood. Because I got one of them neighborhoods. If you in my neighborhood, you better be in my neighborhood because it ain't no pass-through type of neighborhood. And I saw all these orange Nike bags just all over the ground. And I just could not figure out, like, what is going on? Like, I walked to the corner, and it was going up.
Yes.
And I said, damn, I should have brought a garbage bag. And my sister said, no, you're going to get caught.
Thank you, Asia.
Looking after Big Sis. I like that.
Man, I'm telling you, my biggest regret is...
Ruthie wasn't going to find nothing. Actually, Ruthie probably would have cleaned. No, they would have got the kids' sizes. Because the daddy's like, I could get these I could get these for the next 3 generations.
I know the biggest regret that I have is not going to get some Tempur-Pedic mattresses.
A mattress?
I would have backed
and how
up.
I'm just going to tell you. Like that lady who did on 54th and Wentworth.
I think that's the biggest.
They stole the
You
mattress and they put it on the truck and they drove it off and they held it on the roof on the way away. Okay, so please, just as long as you kept it away from 54th.
Man, you know how many we just have so many stores in the hood that need pilfering.
We should tell. Like, it would be great to do like a video montage. I'm gonna go pull up some of my video because when I saw them pick that, when they literally, I watched as they picked the Asian hair store clean. Like the Asian guy, the police, everybody was standing there watching.
Ain't nothing they could do about it.
And it was like people was walking in, walking out, like, ooh, I need Remy Red. Give me some Brazilian.
You have fake people working behind the counter. They don't even work there.
Really?
What you need, sis?
Look, I saw cars park in the middle of the street and pull up and be like, oh, they was running out with weave beyond.
They wasn't running. They was walking.
Nah, they was running because they was going back in.
I saw people literally we ain't got to go into the uprisings.
So so Ruthie says the uprisings were the best thing of 2020.
Yep, because I think it shook the system.
Okay.
You can let them bridges up, but eventually you got to go back across them too.
Oh.
Nope. Not really.
Not if you stay on the other side.
You eventually you do.
No, all the substances over there, they don't need us.
Eventually, but they do. You see, it's still a ghost town.
Ghost town. Well,
I remember being on a bus in 1980, and the group I was coming home from track practice with a whole bunch of brothers.
You was on the track.
Yeah, you had to take the bus.
What'd you do? Shot put?
No, I don't think I waited enough for the shot put. But they were joking about how they were going to drop a bomb, but it would only affect 35th Street South. Yeah.
They called that Madigan.
Ooh.
No, he lives south of 35th Street.
Yeah, south. Okay, well, southeast. Right. They put a dividing line on the Dan Ryan. Right. Okay, so I got some bests. I actually do.
Is they petty or they not petty?
What do you mean petty? I'm me petty.
Ooh,
you about to make me mad. Ooh. All right. So I gotta say, with the Bamidia, from the ashes rose this hobby that we have got to turn into a business.
Hobby.
Like
Hobby Lobby?
No, like hobby. We got to turn.
No,
we got
Hobby Lobby.
We got to monetize.
Janine won't even go to that store.
Why not? I love Hobby.
Because of they religious beliefs or something like that.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say religious
beliefs. I say religion. Your religion can't affect business, and that's the problem.
And what kind of discrimination did they have?
I think it was like
I think they're against gay people.
Something like that, or something about
They,
birth
and
control.
they got a craft store in there against gay people.
Yeah, right.
How does that work? Like, I mean, where do you? I mean, seriously, who does? Like, where are you gonna get your
White suburban moms still will go.
man? I like Hobby Lobby. They got good stuff in there. I mean, ain't nobody ever caught. Man, I'm gonna stop. City So Real.
Yep.
City So Real. You know, this year, I would say that I was light on media outside, but what I recognized was that we really did build a media entity that people in some way, shape, or form, as the world moves, feel that they are competing with. And so what I recognized was that they stopped saying, hey, come. It's when they don't fear your entity, then they always welcome you. When they think you could be of a challenge, then I saw that those media appearances decreased a lot.
Oh.
Right? When after July, what you saw was that we have a network. Right? And people was like, hold on, when you start to see numbers change, there's no way that we're touching 600,000 people and it's not affecting someone. Yeah. Right? And so what I saw was that, remember last year, it was like every day I would get up and get out, and it'd be like I had to leave because I was doing 3 and 4 and 5 and 2 and 3 appearances a week.
You was.
When we created this entity, this was the entity now that it's like I was thinking like, dag, I'm not getting appearances. And then it was really Scoop Jackson who was like, man, you are your own. You got to put it into what you're building. Everybody's always looked to go get the big job somewhere else instead of building their own. And so we built our own. So I got to say what's in it for the Black People Media. I got to say City So Real. I think City So Real will age even better with time. And I think City So Real provides some vindication for me personally. No, I really do.
Some retribution.
Not even retribution, but vindication. And then I would also say the birth of my granddaughter.
Good one.
Extending our legacy. And
thank you.
DJ D Nice.
What, doing them virtual things?
The reinvention of the virtual part. Like, I feel like that DJ D Nice and the verses and all that sprung from that gave us some relief, especially during the summertime. Remember that first time, and everybody, now it got worn out, and now we got to figure out.
And he commercialized it.
Right. But I mean, the whole point is I'm going to say the whole point, but he tried to monetize because in the pandemic, there's nowhere for artists to perform. And so if there's nowhere for you to perform, that pivot, right?
Do y'all like virtual concerts? Would y'all pay for that?
Yes.
You would? What about you, Todd?
Todd don't even want to pay for a real concert.
I was thinking the same
thing. Like, Todd don't even go to a real. But I do think that, and again, even with that, do we want our industries to continue? So, like, when you say, would you pay for a virtual concert? You know, that's been on my roster. To put concerts here on Saturday night so that Black people who are stuck in the house can have some entertainment. Right? That you can turn on and you can't go listen to live jazz, but you can watch it. But again, that's my hobby. Got to turn that into a business model. Look, y'all, the best of, what will we say about 2020? How will we describe it? Yeah. Did you make it happen in 2020, or did 2020 happen to you? Give us a call, 872-259-7474. Ruthie, do it, slow it for the people in the back.
Grab your pens. 872-259-7474.
And when we come back, Crystal just sent me the results of the poll about the will the $600 help. We'll talk about it all when we come back.
WIFTBPM.
Maze Jackson.
If you could make up a social media holiday, what would it be?
Randy said National Don't Let No One Put You Down Day.
No one. What you gonna do? So when they say something crazy, you slap them?
Be like Maze said. Remy said a Juke-a-thon Day.
Man, we about 60 years old. I be done had a heart attack.
You gotta get your heart rate up.
Okay, not that far.
All right, Mario said my favorite one. My friends and I do what we call National Call Off from Work Day.
As a business owner, I don't.
You don't like that, yeah.
I don't like that.
Because I'm the boss of this family.
We got Marcus Garvey Day from Remy too.
Oh, Marcus Garvey Day. All right, what will we do on Marcus Garvey Day?
Call off from work.
I'm going to need you to go ahead and come in tomorrow. That would be great. Okay?
Yeah, right. Every black holiday has something to do with calling off from work.
You're cool. I'm out.
How about National Join a Positive Black Organization Day? Because I don't want to be recruited. I don't want to be recruited and the brothers be like, thank you. Thank you. How about National Tell White People the Truth Day? Tell them how you really feel.
You can't handle the truth.
Why don't we call that National Black People Get Locked Up Day?
I'm going to tell them there's an African-American man threatening my life.
Hello.
The most dangerous show in the morning.
Sexy lady, can't wait to be with you tonight. I'm intoxicated by your energy. You drive me crazy. I'm feeling the vibe and it's alright. We're gonna dance and groove all night between the sheets. So come on, baby, yeah, yeah. Gonna make it alright. Party all night, oh yeah. Party all night, oh yeah. Move your body tonight, baby. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, your body's amazing. Baby, you're perfect in every way. Let me kiss you, touch you, set your spirit free. Can you feel me? Going deeper, baby. Hiding inside your world is where I wanna be. Yeah. We can touch the sky. Then I realize that you're the one for me. Inside your love, our love is from above. Only you and me between the sheets, baby. Move your body tonight. We're gonna make it alright. Oh yeah.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. Ruthie over here talking about she mad y'all gotta make her shave her legs to get a man.
That's not what I said.
She like
that was a translator there.
Happy birthday, Verdella.
Look,
Bluetooth.
You on the Bluetooth? Oh, the phone. Oh, turn the phone on Bluetooth. All right, yeah. We got here. You know how to do it? I do it. I really don't like this Bluetooth.
Me either.
I don't like
it's
the Bluetooth.
It's a different sound.
It's only one.
You hear it in one ear.
Yeah, I don't like it. It's not stereo.
Mono.
So what we probably gonna do eventually is we gonna get that cord. Cause I feel like we got a short one. Why we can't just run the phone from there in there instead of running it all the way in here and you just run it out there. But look, let's do this. I'm gonna get us to Bluetooth. But we are asking. What were we talking about? We're talking about the best of 2020. What will you say about 2020, Ruthie Moore?
Whew. I'll be like, damn. 2020 was the year of the coronavirus and civil unrest, as they call it. And I felt like it was really like a reawakening. And to me, one of the interesting things that came out of the pandemic was stuff that we already knew, which was just like the disparities that exist, not just health, but politically, economic disparity. But I think the health disparities that have been shown are huge. And I'm really, 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 really interested to see how this vaccine stuff plays out, because I think that's really going to determine kind of a lot related to like our futures. And I do have some concerns about mandating the vaccine and what that looks like and how that's about to be rolled out. But a lot of stuff that I saw in America, I would have never thought that I would be able to see it. And so my viewpoint on the country has changed. I think a lot of people's has. And I don't know if it's weakened us globally or if we feel stronger globally. So I don't know.
Okay.
I just said a lot, but I don't know.
You said a lot.
But I ain't say too much. It's just, I don't know. Are we weaker or stronger glolobally?
I think we're weaker globally.
I think we're stronger because we are getting a new president. I think the President Trump was holding us back. Same thing happens all the time.
Todd, you always say that. Like, there's nothing new under the sun.
Yeah, when President Bush...
Which one? First one, daddy or son Bush?
The second one.
Son.
You know,
Michelle's boy.
Yeah, the world was like, you got that guy. He ain't smart enough. You can't get rid of him. Because, you know, most of the Democratic countries have a prime minister. So, yeah, you know, this happens. You know, they looked at Bush and they're like, boy, that guy's no leader of the free world.
Now they love him.
I mean, Trump, yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay.
They don't love Trump.
We didn't love Bush. I remember when everybody was like, F you, George. I got pictures of him on the helicopter, and now y'all running around here talking about some...
Bush helped Obama get in.
Yep.
Because we were so mad.
Yep.
Black people still don't like Bush.
Yes, they do.
Y'all
seen she
the
gave
press
him a
likes Bush.
And your favorite presidential wife.
Trump made Bush.
The Obamas are not your regular people. That's
they
for
not.
sure.
Oh, now y'all want to say they ain't black people. See how y'all do? Let's go to the live
I said they
line.
ain't your regular people.
Did you say how you were going to describe 2020? Hold on.
Oh, you know, man, after listening to the Ruthie, I was starting to cry and stuff. I think it just highlighted what we always knew was there. We always knew there was a health disparity.
Mm-hmm.
We always knew there was people with not enough who were just waiting for a moment to loot. We always knew that there were people who wanted chaos and they were waiting for the opportunity to get out in the streets without getting shot.
Chaos? What about people who want freedom?
No, I'm not talking about your regular looters who were waiting outside the stores and like, all right, in 30 minutes, we go to Walgreens on that side. No, I'm talking about the white people.
Okay.
I would describe 2020.
I'm also going to say it's kind of like the year of the senior because...
What do you mean, dying?
I mean, okay, so you know how we this is like an oversimplification, but sometimes we warehouse people and we warehouse our seniors a lot, into assisted living, retirement homes and things like that. But the pandemic has shown us how unsafe environments like that are. And so we've lost a lot of seniors with this virus. And so I think we're going to have to pay more special attention to senior populations and what this pandemic means, because think about even the technology, the tech disparity that happened. And I think that the mental health of our seniors is really being affected by this. So I don't quite know what to do about it, but I'm just really concerned about
your health issue. I think it's more of seniors tend to be less healthier than younger people.
Why do y'all? This is like I'm just curious, like, but why do a lot of our seniors sometimes end up in assisted living in nursing homes?
Because we don't have the ability.
Ryan, what is it? It's money.
Money. It's because we can't afford to take care of them.
That's right.
Right. You can't afford to take care of the person. It's the space. It's the time. It's the mental well-being. There's so many
That's
components.
what I think we got to reimagine that and think more like how the Asian communities do it.
I don't know how the Asian communities do it, but
they
also
take care of it's their job. It's their mission to make sure that they take care of the generation above them. It's their duty.
I think there's
honor in it.
But I think they got a value that on their culture that we haven't gotten yet.
That's what I'm saying.
And I think
we got to get that because we can't keep warehousing our people in the middle of this pandemic.
But I also think to get it, we got to talk about realistically how we do it, right? Like there is I think it goes back to economics, right? And it goes back to, it's the same reason we don't nurture our children through college. And we say, go get out there once you're 18, get out there on your own and go like you're free now. And because I don't think that's because people just don't want to help their kids. It's going to make them tougher. I think it's an excuse because we don't have the economic wherewithal to say fly. And I think just like the assisted living homes, and I think about people, the assisted living, I think what you talked about, Ruthie, with the senior stuff and the assisted living has been downplayed. I think they know it's happening. And I think when you look at the numbers and you see who's dying, really, really, it is people in those highly dense populations in nursing homes and places like that. And they're easy to forget about. They're easy to just roll into that big number and not tell that story. I mean, I think right now, even as you look at how many people died, do y'all remember when those people were dying from Legionnaire's disease?
Yep. And they just had a new case.
Under Bruce Rauner?
Down there in Quincy.
Right? Same thing as now all these people are dying in nursing homes that are government and veteran related, and we're not hearing about it. Right? It's not being talked about in Illinois because why? Right? Like, could you imagine if the number of people...
Because it's big business.
Exactly. And could you imagine if the number of people were dying in state-run facilities if it was Bruce Rauner? Could you imagine the commercials? Could you imagine? And I'm just saying, like, right now, black people are running around here giving, like, we have held nobody accountable for any black, like, forget the cannabis. Like, when you see black, and remember we nominated Dr. Ezike as the person of the year, but how many of those black, what has been the strategy to deal with the black death in nursing homes? And does she have a special responsibility as a black woman to not during her 9 to 5, but in her 5 to 9 be trying to figure out, and should she use the power of that office to address those disparities? See, I feel like we've been used as an example for everybody. And it's like we love the strong feeling, but like them nursing homes and all that stuff, that it's like nobody's talking about it.
That's why I brought it up, because it just it don't sit well in my soul.
And nobody is talking about it because that's not like...
I mean, because think about it. So if we talk about that particular aspect, then the whole kind of science comes into play. Because you think you got these quote unquote low wage workers that you pay to work in these places, right? They coming to work. They got to come to work. Even if they sick or not, they still got to come to work. They not happy about having to get this person a shower. They mad because they got to come to work. So now how are they treating our elders? I mean, it's
are putting their life at stake.
It's just I don't know, y'all. It's
it's a cycle.
It's a cycle, and I just don't really see how it's gonna get better. So are they gonna mass vaccinate all our elders? Like, is that a requirement if you in an assisted living facility? Like, these are all questions that kind of shake my soul.
The problem is underfunded, and no one.
It's underfunded. Why though? Because corporations, everything is privatized.
I mean, here's my thing. I want to see who are the nursing home industry people And how much do they contribute?
How much do they make off of one body?
Right. I mean, I think that there is.
But it's privatized for a reason. It's privatized because that's what white people want, because they know they can make a lot of money. They don't want workers to make money. They want some person who generally doesn't look like us, probably always doesn't look like us, to make a lot of money.
So all I'm suggesting is, y'all, is that we don't, in this space that we're living in right now. Ruthie, I'm actually glad you brought that up. I think if we look at the number of black people that have died in assisted living facilities, particularly, like, I'm going to tell you,
and let's not even mention the fact that early on in the pandemic, you couldn't even visit your people in those nursing homes. So you couldn't really check on their well-being. You got to rely on the staff.
Who's mad as hell.
Because they got to go to work. They probably only getting paid $15 an hour.
If they getting that.
Like,
you know what, y'all?
It's like it's the same way we send our kids to the enemies to be educated. Same thing I feel about how we do to our elders sometimes.
Ooh-wee. Y'all, this is the Mace Jackson Show. We'll be back.
WIFTVPM.
Shop at Black-owned and operated Solo Beauty, where you are appreciated and respected. Located at 8158 South Cottage Grove, Solo Beauty can supply all of your black hair care needs. Solo Beauty is open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., Tuesday through Saturday.
Loving you has always been easy, because it's true. I wouldn't have believed if someone would have told me you would come along to reveal my soul, 'cause I was done with love, my heart had grown cold. You had good what I needed. You walked in my life and placed the joy where was needed. Now mirage what I feel for you. Put that on God, girl, I'm loving you. Said it's easy. It's easy to love. Easy to love. Said it's easy. It's easy to love. Easy to love. Oh yeah. Loving you has always been easy, 'cause you're beautiful. Loving you has always been wonderful, more than you'll ever know. We got good chemistry, go together like love says. Passion and care, we show one another top stars. The feelings I have for you, I ain't felt in so long. What we share together, baby, the bond is so strong. It's no facade of what I feel for you. Put that on God, I got love.
You are listening to the Mace Jackson Show. I'm your host, Mace Jackson. Got my co-host, Ty Stroger, Ruthie Moore. We're going to continue this conversation. I'm going to move it into... Oh, we got two calls, though. Let's go to the live lines first. Who's the callers? I know I got Frank. Let's go to Frank. Frank, you're on the Mace Jackson Show. What's up, brother?
Nothing much, my good brother. How y'all doing?
Good morning,
Turn
Frank.
the volume up a little bit. Good morning to you, brother Todd, too, and sister Ruthie, and brother LaRon.
Morning.
And to the intern, what's that, Crystal?
Crystal.
Crystal, right?
Yo, she out there hiding. She like, oh, they asking me to work. Look, she just disappeared, right? Go ahead. What's going on?
Holding down for selling stuff. Hey, listen, y'all covering a lot, and it's all good. You know, I'm going to stick with the one about the $600 real quick. I think that $600 more than what you had going. Okay, so it all depends on how you work it. The only one that is not going to help Brother Mays, and I think it's unfair, is those brothers and some sisters who's paying child support or even back child support like me, okay? Because my kids are all grown and gone. But I'm just paying interest on the interest that accumulated when I fell between jobs, and I became disabled because, see, now I got a guaranteed income. And California God is a great place where our sister and brother taking care of people there. But anyway, right quick, their stimulus check is going to their exes. Okay, so they get two. So that's $600 or $2,000 or $1,200 is not helping them at all. They should put a stop to that. And about the monthly thing, what would really help black folks pick up, I like what you said, Brother Mays, on the $8,000. But I always have said this in regard to our reparation. It should be at least $3,000, you know what I'm saying, a month. That would help out for the same amount of years that our ancestors were held in bondage, which was 310 years, and increase that $3,000 by $100 every 10 years for inflation and cost of living rising. Switzerland does it for instance in all of them. So I figured at least $3,000. Ruth was hitting it when she said at least $2,500, you know what I'm saying, a month. Like I said, for the same amount of years our ancestors were held in bondage without pay. I really do. But, man, I think you'll just explode on that money. Why come the people who pay their back charges and on a payment plan? $100 a month come on my check every month and on a payment plan, and the ex still giving you a stimulus check. That's not right.
You got played, Frank. Man, you got what? You got mossed?
Yes, sir.
You got mossed. All right, let's go to Anthony. Anthony on the Maze Jackson Show. What's up, brother?
Good morning, Maze.
Good morning, Anthony.
Good morning. How you feel? Happy season's greetings and all that, Kwanzaa and everything.
Ho, 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 Merry Christmas, my foot. What's up?
First of all, you're talking about the science called gerontology, where geriatrics when people get old.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Then you were talking about $50,000 a year being was that?
That's a little round. I need about 150. Go ahead.
Well, I'm just let me break it down to you. That's minimum. That's what's the poverty level. Most of the people you see working in those homes and stuff, they lucky to make $8, $9, $10 an hour. Mm-hmm. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if a person's making $10 an hour and they're working for 40 hours a week, that's $400 a week before taxes. Okay. There's a whole lot. You can't even rent a place to stay for less than $1,000 a month. Okay, so there's a whole lot they missing because they don't have at least a bachelor's degree. If you have a bachelor's degree, that guarantees you make just about $50,000 a year is what I've been told. I don't know. Never tried it. You know. I don't know, but that's believe it or not, 50,000. And when you say 50,000, it sounds like a lot of money, but it's not.
It's not. Oh no, I remember. No, $50,000. Like once you make $50,000, that's like a wet your whistle. It's like you wet your whistle to what the opportunities really are that you can't get.
If you get a bachelor's degree, that guarantees you $50,000 a year is what I've been told. Okay, anybody with a bachelor's degree, and then you'll be the supervisor over all the people in the nursing home.
Okay, I see that.
Don't nobody want to work for $10, $12 an hour?
See, but that's that. Okay, so and thank you, Anthony. This is no, thank you. I think that was a very good point.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. So I gotta figure out my choices thing.
What you mean?
I gotta figure because okay. Remember I told you I don't think somebody should have to. I don't think that McDonald's is a life-sustaining job. I think it's a starter job. I also don't think that being a CNA is a life job. It's a starter job. But unfortunately for a lot of our people, it is a life job, not a starter job. Mm-hmm. Right?
Or CNAs could be a step up from a patient tech.
I got you. I mean, and what I'm learning is, right, like the whole economics of it all. Like just that whole trappery of it all. Like I was just thinking.
And you heard him say you get a degree, you can come in the door being a supervisor and make 50 G's.
Then you can run the French fries because $50,000 ain't really nothing. Like $50,000. I remember when I wanted to make $30,000 before I turned 30, and then I made $30,000 and was like, boy, it's still poor down here. Mm-hmm. And so now I'm thinking about all of the people that have to go to work, and that the places that they have to go, I almost think of it like gladiators, or I think of it like Did anybody watch Handmaid's Tale?
Mm-hmm.
So do you know the part when the girl got sentenced to that crazy not island, but where you had to go work in the pits,
the ghoul, whatever.
Right,
about, yeah.
but you gotta not the one that had to go work at the whole house.
No, I know what you're talking about.
But they
the pits with the chemicals.
Yes, where they know that you're gonna die. It's just a slow death.
Right.
And so these people that have to go work in these locations, i.e., these homes, these jails, these prisons, it's kind of like I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't really think of it from the standpoint of like you being expendable.
What? You ain't nothing but a body, man.
But man, I didn't think of it.
Let me tell you. That is the attitude of. Remember, I told you that either you pay people to just show up as a body, or you actually pay people a decent wage. And if you paying people just to show up to be a body, you're gonna get subpar work.
That's that. So now I'm thinking though.
Do you think those people should be getting hazard pay and things like that?
Yeah, I do. My question always as the guy who wants to go from hobby to business, right? Mm-hmm. How does all that work economically, right? Like, but I am looking at this thing now saying like, man, the people that are getting shoveled into these locations is like compounded death, or your life is at risk. And I was just thinking, so I was looking at this CPS return to school. CPS is returning, workers return to school on January 4th. 4,684 people will be returning. 2,010 requested to stay at home. 861 people had their requests granted. 1,149 people had theirs rejected, and 301 cases are pending. I was just thinking, man, and I'm going to tell you, I have had an epiphany since the loss of my big bro, right? Because I've been adamant about people going back to school. But I am thinking like, they about to force people without an unknown. We're about to be coming off of Christmas where they say that the surge is going to be outlandish. Mm-hmm. And we're about to send these CPS teachers back into the schools on kind of science. Now, I will tell you that COVID-19, 20, and 21 has been a figment of my imagination. Not a figment, but the reality of it was not real to me. Mm. I understand. I watch the daily updates. Never in my life have I, especially recently, lost anyone as close to me as Donnie Kirksey. Mm. And he died from COVID. Right now, he had complicating scenarios. Mm-hmm. But would he have been forced to go back to work? And if he had been back at work and it happened then, what would my response be? This makes me think of almost like a gladiator scenario.
So I know we always kind of get into like the generational conversation, but as a millennial, I've long realized how expendable I am. If I kill over and die, they gonna replace me. If I watch my parents going to work every day, and the minute you can't make it, guess what? They gonna replace you. So my attitude is why am I working so hard to make these people all this money?
So I could see that. I always say though that I don't look at what other people's plan for me is. I look at
if I'm risking my life every day to come in to make you money. But you're paying me $9 an hour, but I know from each of these bodies you getting $40K per day. That's a disparity. So of course I'm not finna come in and be all extra jolly, extra da.
And I look at it from the standpoint of it's probably nobody's making you $40,000 a day, making $9 an hour. I just be clear.
You don't think they're making money off them bodies? People make money off of bodies.
Oh, I'm not. No, okay. So
I
I
was
was thinking
about
I was
the
thinking
CNA
McDonald's. You thinking CNAs?
Yeah. What's the difference?
Well, McDonald's, you're not making $40,000 a day off nobody. At McDonald's, each one. Okay, so having run a multi-million-dollar Burger King, your average daily income is about $5,000 to $7,000 a day, right? And then you manage with at that time it was like a $5 an hour staff or whatever, right? But that's not exorbitant when you think about rent. I mean, when you think about what that $5,000 has to pay, right? Real estate, mortgage, heat, light, repairs, all of that, it doesn't. I often think that business math and what people anticipate or think business makes compared to what it actually does is not realistic. And I also think that we use the standard of Jeff Bezos as compared to the standard of your neighborhood small business owner. Right. And so when you look at margins, the average business person is trying to get 20% on whatever product. So if I sell a candy bar, I'm trying to make 20% on it. Right. So I don't necessarily agree. But what I do think right now is happening, I don't necessarily agree that just because you're in business, you're making millions of dollars. I don't. I think a lot of people are in business and they are subsisting and they are trying to make just enough after they pay their staff and salary so that they don't have to work for someone else. And then they start it. So I don't buy into that narrative. But I do recognize that these multi-million-dollar nursing home industries can shovel people in and keep getting $9 an hour and send flowers, right? And be like, oh, it's a great PR story. The death becomes a great PR story, right? Because we know the Negroes are dying, so let's just keep sending more Negroes into the fire. And we can portray them as heroes as they die and we bring their bodies out. That I agree with. Man, Charlie, this is so now I feel some kind of way about the students going back to school. I mean, the teachers being forced to go back to school. Particularly because there is no unknown. We don't know. And if you die, they just write a hero's eulogy for you and send the next body in. I gotta tell y'all, you can call it hypocritical, you can call it what it is, but I'm evolving. Like, I will tell you that this COVID, I could probably tell you every reason why, from pre-existing conditions to whatever. But I don't know that I agree, especially with someone like Mayor Lori Lightfoot. Really, I don't. She has been dishonest all the way around. I don't know if I trust the lives of my family and friends with these people. And honestly, I don't know if the people that are running the city actually have the empathy to be concerned about them. Like,
just study the business behind everything. You study the business behind schools, then you realize why they want them kids to go back. Parents do got to go to work.
Oh, it's very complicated because there's so many parts to this.
Our kids are losing educational gains.
I mean, I think,
but again, we don't know enough. It's kind of like what you said. Who is about to get experimented on?
Well, that's the point.
Who about to get experimented on it?
If you go to CPS and you know it's only 13% white, right? You know the white folks like, we ain't sending our kids back up in there. And if they do, you saw like places like New Trier said, we putting up $2 million for instant testing for our one school. Instant testing. 15 minutes, we know we get you out.
Well, we know people will have COVID, but the unknown is what will the numbers be? What percentage of students and teachers are going to catch it because they're all going back to school?
Well, I'm saying, like, how do you explain, though, that if they go back to school and there's an outbreak? Like, I don't even know how we're going to send people back to school knowing that right now, after the Christmas holiday, they say it's about to be explosion.
Yeah, I saw Dr. Fauci talking.
Right? So we saw what happened after Thanksgiving. They said there were 1 million people at the airport.
Yeah.
I don't know nobody that's quarantining. Really. I don't know nobody that's be like, I just got back, I'm locking myself in the room. No, but that's the whole premise. It's kind of science.
Kind of science.
And it's like, it's permeating. But like, do I trust now the lives of all of these teachers in the hands of the same mayor who said that woman? Really? Do we trust why do we trust Dr. Arwadi? I'm asking you, why do we trust Dr. Ezike? Like, so if we know that there are massive deaths in nursing home facilities, what has been the advisory that has come to protect those lives? Because those lives have been deemed expendable. And if those lives are expendable in nursing homes with CNAs that are low wage, expendable people, and CPS is 87% black, I'm gonna say brown, and brown. We know the white folks on the north side is like they working from home. They got all the space, they got all the facility. Now you compound this conversation with $28,000 a year, where everybody ain't eating. So somebody is going outside. COVID is the least of their concern. Hey, I had an on-air epiphany.
What is it?
I mean, this whole premise of the cycle of death. Like the evolution of, like, the fact that we are expendable in this process.
Man, I've been saying this for a long time.
No, you ain't. Don't tell me.
Yes, I have. So it's, I like your evolution of I call it a piggyback. Toot toot. That was my horn.
It's like crackers don't crack.
I feel expendable in today's economy. People are expendable.
See, and I guess for me,
they've always been.
See, here you go, Todd.
This is the fight.
But
this is the fight that has been going on since time memorial.
But that's why when y'all be like, y'all need to work harder. No, I'm not about to spend 40 hours working for you. For me to go home for, like, it's crazy. The way we work and the way we value quote unquote hard work, to me is crazy in American society.
So I again, that's only if you look. To me, they probably are like expendable. For me, I'm probably not only expendable, like expend some energy to eliminate. But I don't look at myself through those mirrors. So everything that I do has my own purpose, not theirs.
Oh, right.
Every step, every inch of every piece of information that I do, every piece of work that I do where I'm at someone else's location is not for them.
See, I think that's the illusion of control.
No.
Because you a body for them.
For them. But for me, I don't worry about for them. I am extracting for them. I'm taking from them. Like, I will say it again.
That sounds like the illusion of control. That sound good, Maze.
I'm saying like this.
The worst job I ever had was something that I felt like I wasn't getting anything out of.
So I would say that I don't think anyone really has control. I don't think you can control your circumstances. I think you can do the best to control the circumstances of yourself. Mm-hmm. I would say that you can call it the illusion of control, but I would say that in my life, I have never been, there's never been a scenario where the people who I worked for got more than me. Never. Never. Not maybe for them they thought they won.
That's what I'm saying. That's the illusion of control.
No, I think you say that's the illusion of control. But again, if you and me are working and I work at your company, but then I take the skill set that you paid for, you financed, and then I make my own way, it wasn't an illusion of control. It was I have to take the necessary steps to get where I want, and you have what I want, so I'm going to use you. Yeah, you give me for 8 hours a day. But what you give me for 8 hours a day, I got a skill set for the rest of my life that I'm
8 hours a day is a long time.
Yeah, I tell Hans this all the time. Hans, if there's 8 hours where people work, what would you be doing in those 8 hours if you weren't working?
Well, I'm
probably
saying
nothing good. That's all I can tell you.
Here's me. 9 to 5 is your time. 5 to 9 is mine.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So when I go to work, 9 to 5, you get me. But I'm taking every freaking bit of what you got.
See how you done divided it up in your mind, though? You're like, I'm gonna give you this time, but I'm gonna take mine.
But let me tell you what I do every day. Right? With the illusion of control. Like I'm not.
We have a skewed sense of a work week. That's what I'm trying to say. Here in America, we spend way too much time at work and in a work culture.
I turned it 9 to 3. I'll be happy with that.
Here's me. I feel like my transition, my philosophy has paid for me.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like I don't get up and report to anybody. Like I literally determine my fate daily. Right? But there was a cost to that. Right? I didn't wake up one day and be like, yo, I had to put in, and as I was working 8 hours a day and sometimes 16, right? When you look at the Coca-Cola R&B, the Sprite mixtape, all of those things, every one of those things I turned into relationships or opportunities that bended. I worked like 12 hours a day at Sprite, right? In Coca-Cola MZD, trying to make a name for myself. That culminated with the full page article that went to Ad Age, because I was working 8 hours a day. I answered the phone. That then translated to me being able to walk away from that job and go sign a contract with McDonald's for $1 million. But if I didn't work the 8 hours a day and bust my ass and say, guess what? I'm not working for you, MZD. I'm working to build my brand. So every day I would put on a suit and tie because that's what was required of them. But I also had a budget. So I would take that, and at 5 o'clock, I'd take that off, put on my hip-hop clothes, drive out west to Madison and Pulaski, and talk to all them people. Now, 16 hours a day. But at the end of it, we won.
Mm-hmm.
We won. We signed Ringling Brothers, and we were in 28 cities across the country. That required 16 hours a day from me, right? Mm-hmm. But I think there has to be, you got to know where you're going, right? And in my estimation, the challenge for us is we don't even have an end destination. We'll talk about it all more when we come back. It's the Maze Jackson Show. Ruthie and Todd and Lil Ron in this mug too. He like, I learned so much here. We'll be back.
WIFTBPM. Today we learned that a Kentucky state grand jury found that the officer responsible for killing Breonna Taylor. Rulings like this one set us back and come as yet another challenge to the hard work and progress we've already made. It means we fight even harder against the systems of inequality and injustice designed to keep too many of us down. We will and we must continue to say her name. We will and we must continue to demand justice. And we will and we must do everything in our power to prevent any more names from being added to this role, like George Floyd, or closer to home, Rekia Boyd, and Laquan McDonald, and too many others. I want you to know that I support you and will do everything in my power to protect you.
Regarding the CBS 2 story last night about the raid on the social worker's home, why did your administration go to court to try and prevent the body camera video from being broadcast, and why is your administration asking a federal judge to punish Miss Young for sharing video of her own home being raided?
And I watched that video.
You need to tell me what you're looking for. What are you looking for?
Now, this case was litigated in federal court. The federal judge put in place an order. There's allegations that she has violated that. A federal judge put rules in place. It's for that judge to determine whether or not that was appropriate. I'm not going to sit here and second guess a federal judge or how the information related to that matter is handled. That's for that judge who I know and is very competent and I'm sure will be fair in assessing.
Oh my God, this cannot be right. How is this legal?
Because COPA has not yet made a decision in 22 months on this.
I just, look, we got to fess up and we got to clean it up.
You have the wrong place. You got the wrong house. You got the wrong house.
We will and we must continue to say her name.
You are listening to the most dangerous show in the morning. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For Ruthie Moore, for Ty Stroger, I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them Maze said, Mayor Lightfoot, man, we ain't accepting that. We ain't accepting that. Let's go. Yeah. Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts. Mayor Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case. He was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover-up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you could put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gonna sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to send it. We need some different players in the game to handle business. Too many shady characters like Madigan and Blago. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets where hood legends DNA get spilled on. You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Good God, these conversations be off the chain. This is like really, like I really want to sit down like one day and just talk about that part. Like I really want to talk about black business and just what's our path forward, right? Like just how do we do it? Because it's like I don't know what the path is. Like so I've always said in my life that there is no substitute for hard work, right? Mm-hmm. You can work smarter. I was the king of smarter, harder, all that good stuff. But the fact of the matter is, whether you're using brain power or physical labor, there is no substitute in my mind for hard work. And it has paid off for me. Now, to the level of Bill Gates, no. But to the level of blackness, yeah, I gotta say, in our world, I'm pretty straight.
Look at our measurement, though, my brother. Look at our measurement.
No, even in white world, how many Bill Gates are there?
Look at our measurement.
There's Bill Gates, there's Zuckerberg, there's Dell. I mean, we can name them. So, yeah, I mean, everybody's not going to be a multi-millionaire, trillionaire, billionaire. That's just the way the world is.
Yeah, I would say, though, that if you look at how we define... Yeah, this is an interesting topic. Because I would say that economically, we probably sit somewhere in the upper percentile of all Americans. So my measurement is probably not based on just black. Like if it was a black measurement, I won. Mm-hmm. I won already. But if it's a measurement of the United States, no, because I look like, to me, I do look at Mark Zuckerberg. I do look at Bill Gates and be like, damn, I am a failure.
Somebody told me this, and maybe it's outdated now, but I doubt it. That any time only 10% of Americans could write a check for $10,000.
Ooh.
Which sounds kind of, I believe it. That sounds about right.
So, yeah. So, Ruthie, what's success?
What?
No, I mean, no. I love this conversation, and I want to make sure that I'm not trying to. I want to understand success and what is the path to success from your perspective.
Man, if I knew it, I'd be on it.
Well, I think
I would have achieved it.
No,
I'm trying to figure it out.
Everybody's definition is going to be different.
It is different, but okay. So I do not measure success by American standards of hard work. And I think that's where we always miss each other, because I know there's no substitute for hard work, but the way it's defined within the American context, it don't work for black people. So then we end up working for 60. When can you retire? At 65? We end up working to retire for them. What you get? Social Security or pension, whatever you get.
Depends on where you work. You know.
But I'm just saying, like, that's no life. What type of life is that? Who wants to live that life?
So
I say not working is almost as worse than working.
Yeah. How do you? So let me ask. So how do you define success?
I do not define it by being like, I worked 40 hours per week and that sounds like to me like you spend a lot of time away from your family.
No. Okay, so I'm not asking how you don't define it.
But that's how. Give
me how you define it.
It ain't the way y'all define it.
When would you say you were successful?
I think success is equated to peace of mind. I told you, I define success by my ability to sit and read a book.
Okay,
that's success to me, because that means, you know what? This is like my leisure time. This is time I've carved out for myself, where I don't got to think about how am I about to make this payment. Okay. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's my measure of success. If I can sit down and read a book peacefully.
Okay. How do you define success? I can agree with that. Mine would be, where am I reading the book? Go.
Oh, success. I would define it as stress free as possible, knowing that all my bills are paid, being able to do the things I like to do. Reading's not one of them anymore because I can't see. So,
right, we see you every time. You be like, Ruthie told you to increase your font size.
I even offered to do it for him.
Right.
I got a trifocal. I can see it, but I got to get like way down there. But anyway, but it's different things at different ages. Success is being able to work and do things and feel that you are accomplishing something. And for me, accomplishing something for not just you, but for other people. So that's what I thought success was.
Success for me would be that my children can choose to do anything that they want to do and devote as much time, energy, and education to it to become the best at that craft. In that, it means that I am secure in my space, and I'm now working on the second generation. That to me would be success to me. In that, when I depart this earth, that my children don't have to start from zero. That they have something to build. Not that I've given them everything, but they have a legacy to have. That would be me. I think that along the lines, I always have the ability to read a book, right? And I'm gonna say I think that I finally got to a point where I do feel like now with this venture is that's gone away a little bit because we're trying to start a new entity. But I think I do see, like, I would tell you, Ruthie, that I do feel like my success when I'm reading a book on the beach in Jamaica, I do feel like that is a level of success. But I also recognize that for me to get there are going to be things that I'm going to have to do that require me to spend more time in the work mode. Now, fortunately for me, I work doing what I want to do, so it's not work, right? Whether it is lobbying, I love talking to elected officials or about them, right? Whether it is starting an ad agency, it's because of my creativity, etc. So I think for me, my success is being able to do what I want to do when I want to do it. And I would say for the most part at this point, I'm there. Now the challenge is, can my children, and what am I willing to do for my children? So in my mind, my next step is, how do I build upon this thing? How do we make this thing something that I can hand off to my kid? How do we make this thing something that you can read a book? Like, now my success is defined by also how many other people come with me, right? Because I can go. Me and Carrie can go, right? We can do anything that we want. But my goal is to essentially be able to create more black millionaires, right? To create more black people that have a path forward. So I don't know. We'll talk about it more. But I don't think...
I have to piggyback on yours. Part of my success, I do feel, is my children being better versions of me.
Right. Hans is already...
Because I like me.
You eat good. Hans eats better.
He eats better, right?
Come on, Ruthie. I see you over there making fun of us.
No, I agree with
Ruthie
y'all.
Cam.
I think y'all have a different, because y'all have children. So y'all are putting y'all success like in y'all kids. And I think that's legacy.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to talk about when we come back.
I'm just going to go play the lottery.
Or you should, what you should play?
What?
The sweepstakes. Hey, y'all. This is the Mace Jackson Show. You know what?
What?
I feel like I want to go somewhere, but I don't. So I got two things. Actually, you know what I want to do? Did y'all see Arnie Duncan was in the paper and said that the community groups have decided that they're going to cut the violence by 20%?
Oh, what they going to do?
Well, it's interesting because I just thought that it was... Do y'all remember when community used to mean black? Remember? No, I'm just saying. But the community groups... Arnie Duncan held a press conference yesterday, and this is probably going to be bad for me because he finances a lot of the street outreach, right? And so I don't want to have the guys being at me because I'm talking about it. But I also think that it's important about, as we go into 2021, who will lead black people in 2021? Clearly, there is a mayoral workaround happening right now. Do y'all remember last week when I told y'all about the Peter Cunningham editorial?
Yes.
And I told you Peter Cunningham was the communications guy for Arnie Duncan and the Daily guys. And I said it was odd that he had a op-ed, a full editorial op-ed. Remember that?
Yes.
That was last week. Then we saw yesterday Arnie Duncan held a press conference, a virtual press conference, to discuss the violence in Chicago and saying that they plan to reduce it by 20% next year. But I guess my thing is, if y'all was the people that got all of, and he seemed to be reiterating T.O.'s ceasefire model, right? And it's like the white guy telling us about the T.O. Hardeman ceasefire model while T.O. is unemployed. He's recreated that model and sold it and been able to finance it. So he's been doing it since 2016. And I look at this article and I say, who is the community now? And it really makes me say, who will lead black people and who will lead the charge? So I'm gonna tell you, because there were quite a few white guys have been speaking out lately about what's going on in the city, which tells me there is truly a Mayor Lightfoot workaround happening. But let's talk about who this community is. It's the Mace Jackson Show. We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back.
WIIFTV-PM.
WIIFTBP, media's just for you and me. WIIFTBP, media's just for you and me.
WIIFTBPN. I think that the black community is starting to realize the mayor may not necessarily be an ally just because she is black.
Live from What's in It for the Black Media Studio.
Our representatives don't necessarily get a pass just because they're black. We've got a challenge in the black part of Chicago of holding black politicians accountable.
You're listening to The Maze Jackson Show.
This is Chicago, so I understand the Chicago way. I ask every day what's in it for the black people.
With Maze Jackson.
Come on, y'all.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Ty Stroger. Anybody shoveling snow?
We're working on the barter system. I don't like the cold. Shout out to my soror Keisha who said, why you got on so many clothes?
It's not, and it's hot than a mug.
It is not hot than a mug.
It is hot.
My homeostasis is a little bit lower than most people's.
It is not hot in here today. Not today.
You know, you got to stop with your. You got to get you some. Get some iron in your blood.
Is that what it is?
That's what it is.
Iron deficiency.
Iron deficiency.
I got tested. My hemoglobin was good.
There you go.
That's a big word. Hemoglobin.
Did I say that right?
All right. All right, y'all. So here is the conversation that I need to be clear that I don't want no problems. Okay. I told y'all one of the big things that I don't like is that we don't finance our own warrior class. We don't. Which then means that our warrior class can then be redirected against, because you know in the game, you roll with who feeds you, right? You roll with who feeds you. That's the first thing. Man, we eating, and whoever it. I think Mark used to say. I hear this from Mark, but I think they got it from Fred Hampton. You feed them, you can lead them, right? And you know, like you ever think about when you go to church and you say or you have a political event. Remember I told Amara, like, you can't be having vegetarian food at your campaign rally. You got to have chicken and pizza.
Right.
Right? But
it's like Lou Viverito told me. You remember Lou
Viverito? Yep.
Yeah, he used to be Madigan senator. And, you know, he was very white. And he said, how could I go against Emil? Emil gave me $40,000.
Right.
You know?
Exactly. And the big chicken, and he probably gave him some fried chicken, too. So... So this is the thing. I'm 100% on the side of black people. Right? And I don't want to have black people directed against me because of the observations that I make. And I also want to be 100% clear.
You gotta take it. Because there will be people who will throw stones at you.
No, but these people won't just throw stones. Some of these people have the capability to shoot bullets.
No.
Right? And so you got to be very careful when you have these conversations because again, we are talking about, and Ruthie, like, we don't have to have this conversation.
No, listen, we have difficult conversations on this show all the time. And so I'm down. I realize this is going to just either close some doors or open them up. I'll go through the window.
Okay.
As I told you, I'm at the last lap. I'm in my last lap, so this doesn't really bother me. But unless, I mean, you're right. Unless we have somebody that we say, you are going to lead us, we are going to feed you, clothe you, push you, we're never going to get anywhere. We're going to be talking about this kind of stuff and fooling around forever. Well, you guys will, because I'll be in Arizona.
By the time I get to Arizona,
you'll be back.
In the words of Chuck D. So I'm going to ask y'all, black folks all across the country, all across that are under the sound of my voice, please do not be upset with me for this conversation. But you must recognize that when I see a headline that says that the community groups commit to decreasing violence by 20%, and then I see a white guy as the community, I got questions. I gotta look. I gotta read. So, if you look at today's Chicago Sun-Times, Arnie Duncan had a virtual press conference yesterday where they declared that the community groups would have vowed to decrease the violence in Chicago by 20%, while it's up by like 70, right? Murder, shootings, killings. We are at 1980 levels. Clearly, the mayor has no real strategy at all on this whole thing. I told you that we saw first Peter Cunningham, communications specialist for Arnie Duncan and the dailies, wrote an op-ed last week decrying the police. Then we saw, do you know David Doig? Mm-hmm. So David Doig runs Chicago Neighborhood Initiatives. He's the guy who is doing all the nonprofit development in the
what did he do
area.
before that?
You tell me.
If I screw this up,
I'll correct you.
Thank you. Starts off as the head of the Park District. Then he moves to the Museum of Science and Industry. And becomes the president of that. And then he moves into what's he do now?
It's not Roseland. It's what's Pullman?
Pullman. Oh yeah. So he is highly connected to what I'll call the Daily Machine.
And they figure out the infrastructure. They figure out how to do nonprofit development.
And what Mays is talking about now is that they're all still connected because they know that if they work together, they can all eat and control things. So you start off with this op-ed, then you move into somebody else says something, then somebody else, and they don't look connected unless you know what the game is.
Unless you know what the game is. Now, Chicago Neighborhood Initiatives then finances, they won the award, they finance all the big black development projects across the South Side, et cetera. When you can't find money, they do some awesome work. They are now being charged with the leadership of the rebuilding of Roseland and Pullman, right? Like all that development that's coming over there, closely tied into that situation. So we got Chicago. So here's what we see. We see Peter Cunningham launch an op-ed. Then we see David Doig on his Facebook, and he got all the influencers because everybody's following him, talks about how he rarely ever posts anything negative, but he had to speak out on this issue, right? Big, long post, responses, people, influencers from all around the city. Then we see Arnie Duncan has a virtual press conference yesterday where he announces, in conjunction with the other community groups, that they are going to reduce violence in Chicago by 20% next year. That is their goal. He then proceeds to lay out their program and their process as though we have not seen this a workable model when T.O. Hardeman ran Ceasefire, right? Literally, we watched them lay out the ceasefire program, but they would not give that money. Remember when it was T.O. did all the work, and Dr. Gary Slutkin could go get the money. Then the white guys, again, go get the money. So now we got Peter Cunningham, we got David Doig. Then he also announces Ready. So the organizations that he says are going to be working with them are not Chicago Neighborhood Initiatives, but Ready Chicago, right? Ready Chicago is financed by the Heartland Alliance, right? then Metropolitan Family Services, right? Which is run by Rick Estrada. But that's Luis Gutierrez's, but they finance all. So they're essentially the fiscal agents for all of the black organizations, right? So all of our black community-based organizations essentially are funded by these groups. So what you wind up finding out is that while the front facing of our community groups on the ground are black, they are essentially funded by wealthy white organizations that then can turn those people into the base of their operation.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, and then you go look at their websites, right? University of Chicago, the Crime Lab, all of the big foundations are financing these. And then essentially what they do is they say, okay, you go find us all the black organizations that are out here doing them, and we'll be able to control them because we'll give you their money. They'll report to you, and then you can hold them accountable. So they got access to all the rich white foundations. So Todd, you can have a great community violence issue organization, but you can't get funded. Now you can go to this organization who will look at you and say, man, we like you. We'll give you $50,000 or $100,000, and you put together the guys. And now you got these guys on a payroll that you're hitting on a daily basis who are the guys in the streets as violence interrupters, even as the violence is continuing to go up.
So another part of that game, though, man.
Be careful, Ruthie. I don't want you.
Okay, allegedly.
I'm just saying. You want me to say it, I can do it when we going to break.
Allegedly, a part of that game has to do, you got to look at the Ivy Towers. Because once you learn how to speak, because the problem is T.O. don't know how to speak that language. But when you know how to speak that, because if you look up the difference between ceasefire and cure violence, same thing. It's the language. It's the manifestation of the program. But see, if you learn how to speak that language and write them grants and become the principal investigator on them grants, and then you take it through, this major universities to get the data, like that's how you get this money. And that's how you become the fiscal agents for these smaller organizations.
And so let me just tell you.
And you get your cut being a fiscal agent.
And
you ain't doing it. You ain't altruistic.
Right. You get paid to administer because they don't trust the community. They don't trust the community organizations to actually manage the situation right.
So now, I came in the legislature in '93, and we were talking about this back then.
Well, let me tell you. This is where we miss Buffy, the Black United Fund of Illinois.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, Henry English was a fiscal agent.
Mm-hmm.
And so at least what we knew was that the money that came into Henry English could always go and say, nah, y'all, we got the economics. And Henry knew the books, and he knew how to do all the math, and he knew how to go after the money, and he had the relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Now our relationships are facilitated by the Arnie Duncans of the world who's teamed up with the Apples. They can pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to all of us. So when you go look at the staff, you see all the.
It costs money to get grants sometimes.
Oh no, it costs money, so now you gotta ask yourself, where do we fit in this thing? Who is leading the black people? White people. Like really? Think when I'm gonna just tell you. So between the CNI, the Ready Chicago, Metropolitan Family Services, and Chicago Cred, all of the black people are on lockdown. All of our street organizations, essentially, if they're tapping into that, they are taking their directives from the top. When your executive director has to come in and present their books to someone else, right? Y'all, and then what you do is you got to look at the site and see they mixed everybody up. They mixed the titles up. So you look at it and you think everybody even. See, I guess my question then becomes, who's the black fiscal agent? Who are the black people controlling the black economic dollars? Or should should I just swear my allegiance to Arnie Duncan and be done? Right? Should we just go bend the knee to Arnie Duncan and say, hey, man, I mean, because realistically, the community dollars.
I don't know, Maze, just having been working in a nonprofit industry for a minute now, I do understand the role of fiscal agents.
I do too. We got some black ones though.
That's what I'm saying. Like I understand the necessity and the role, because sometimes, certain people might not have the capacity, you know what I'm saying, to like grow or, whatever. So they might need a fiscal agent to.
This is the disconnect I talk about all the time. Since we are not connected, we got all these people, like everybody wants to be, I'm a smart guy, I got great ideas, I want to do this, but nobody wants to be connected to the political figures. There is no way for them to get what they want.
Or do they lock us out of that connection?
I think there's a double. I think we're so disconnected that we don't even have like a unified plan. Because in my estimation, the fiscal agents should be looking at, if there's all the millions of dollars, if I was all the black fiscal agents, I had the Association of Black Fiscal Agents. And we'll go down to Springfield and we'll be lobbying and being like, look.
Come on, Maze.
Y'all gave these people over $200 million to manage.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Y'all telling me it ain't no damn black accountants? Really? No black certified C? There's no black people that can count money.
I know we got to have some black
fiscal agents. Saying we did. We had, that's what Buffy does. So why we got to get Buffy back to that spot? I'm not tripping. I'm saying, but know that that's what Mr. English's value was.
Right.
Henry English used to be, and I remember him going and being like, they're cutting us out. They're cutting our money back. When there was the weatherization program, $235 million. And the brother was like, this is how we can spend it. And white folks talked us out of it. White folks was like, you can't be having these brothers just showing up and so now I got to ask my question. How does all of the black social service dollars seem to, can somebody please tell me who the black fiscal agent is? That's all I want to know. What social service dollars with the Black Caucus, they're giving hundreds of millions of dollars, tell me the black fiscal agent. And if you tell me that it ain't no black people we can trust to count, there's no black CPAs, nowhere. You got to understand how I feel when I open up the paper and I see Arnie Duncan talking about violence in black community as I'm not even talking about where he crib at, right? He ain't affected by the violence that's happening. You trying to tell me we ain't got nobody? Nobody.
The true connection with all of this is the Ivy Tower.
You want me to say? I ain't gonna say it.
You ain't gotta say it, but that's what it is. It's the Ivy Tower.
Right. It is the Ivy Tower. And the Ivy Tower between, I ain't gonna go there, but the Ivory Tower, there's nothing that happens in this city that don't go through there. Not if you want to make it in this big rich town, it's going through there. I ain't gonna say
there was a time when we had our own thing, so we didn't get the whole thing, but we always knew we were going to get something.
Right, but I'm saying that's when you had Henry English. That's when Henry and Conrad and Emil Jones and even though and Donnie Trotter, and even though I couldn't stand a whole bunch of them, they at least knew. Look, we not finna put $75 million in the neighborhood and give it to the white boys.
Right.
We could trust, and even if y'all mess it up, they over in Beverly doing their thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I gotta ask you, how does it come that all of the violence prevention, the only way to become a black millionaire right now is social services, and now you can't even do that because it's a white bean counter being like, now and you know what I told you to do if you want to keep the activists off your tail.
You pay them, right?
But you pay them a little less than they need.
Oh, so they always have to
keep chasing it.
They always got
to keep coming back. They always trying to get their paperwork together. And I'm not tripping because I don't want to begrudge none of the brothers that are getting their checks from these organizations, which makes me a danger, which makes this a dangerous conversation because, again, we ain't feeding nobody. But we can't because we allow. Can y'all imagine when somebody releases $200 million for the black community and they say, find me a white guy to deliver it?
Well, Mr. Jackson, you always say that wealth is legislated. And
Stop trying to throw stuff in my face.
No, it's true though. But remember when we had the elected official on and they talked about how our communities are being pillaged and social service dollars are, I ain't gonna say the bane of our existence.
I thought he was saying that it was all my fault.
But that got overshadowed because I do remember him saying that, yeah, y'all pretty much right about these social service dollars.
Poverty pimp, right? But did they say? Okay. So here's my thing. Nobody says let's create a black fiscal agent.
Yeah, there's the problem.
Like nobody black sees that this is an issue. Like this is the perfect time where you were the black person who wrote all the grants. You were the black person that did all the work for the white people. This is the time for you to step out, get your shingle, go get your business license, and then call up Cam Buckner, the new Black Caucus chair, call up Senator Robert Peters, and say, man, we looking at this budget that y'all are about to pass at JB Blue, and y'all are about to take $200 million, and you're about to distribute it to the black community through these white organizations. No, we want our own person.
We have to.
No, we don't. Because right now, no.
It would be different if these dollars were actually like improving the conditions of our community.
Hey. See, and that's the other part. Like the rates are good. So we took the money away from the people who it was working for. We gave it to other people. It's not working. Mm-hmm. And now they're lobbying for more money. Think about this. Do you realize that they literally went down to Springfield and said we want $25 million of the 25% of the cannabis money to come to us to distribute?
Right.
Think about that. They are pimping your disenfranchisement. Okay. So here's all I'm saying. Are there any black accountants that know how to distribute funds? Are there any black certified public accountants in Chicago, in Illinois?
Oh, yeah.
Black preachers.
You don't even have to be a certified public
black
accountant.
Preachers with all these fancy black. I would even Trinity. Y'all got some. Can they be a fiscal agent? Right? Where's Sean Howard? Tell Sean one of them. Where's Bishop Trott?
Actually, they do have an organization.
Okay.
I mean Trinity.
But I'm saying, here's my point. Y'all trying to tell me that there are no black people that are smart enough to manage black dollars for social services. Again, $15 million went to build a new HIV center in the South Side. Howard Brown got that money. Because Negroes buy the premise that, you can't get them niggas that money. That's what they say.
I believe it. No, I believe it.
So I am going to say, please, are there any black accountants? Pastor Moss, Black Pastors Association, black business people of the United States of the world.
I just got a text that said that black CPAs are actually 1% of the total CPA population.
But you don't really need a CPA. I know a person who would fit this role well.
Do they have a fiscal organization where they handle?
No, but sometimes you got to create what you need.
Okay,
That's
so my thing
saying.
is, so here's the thing.
Now, let me just quickly. So when Mayor Daley allied with the Hispanic groups, you know what they did? They created a business. The next thing you know, they were rich.
Yep.
Wealth is legislated.
Check this out. That becomes the issue. Like, what are we creating to capture this?
Right. So I had an idea.
Ruthie, do you have a fiscal agency? Can you get one?
So what's interesting is that I have been looking into like government contracts. After you told me wealth was legislated, Maze, I just cannot see things the same way anymore. So when you really start digging, like, you could legit just look through the contracts to see like what kind of businesses you should start.
That's true. Can I also point out? Right. Can I point out this? Do y'all realize that they doing over $250 million in funds, and they only started in 2016? Think about that. So it ain't no years of You got to have all these years of experience. In 2016, when did President Obama get unelected? 18?
I don't remember.
19, 20, 21, 20. No,
16.
so 16.
Yeah.
So literally, they left the Obama Foundation, started it, and then came and said, we finna take all of this violence money out of Chicago, and we gonna be the redistributors of it.
Yeah,
It's
pretty
like
much.
it's building a new Chicago. If y'all look at, if y'all go into the Ivy Tower, right? I'm just put y'all up on game, and you read the research that is coming out, you can pretty much predict where these dollars are gonna go. When you think about the Arnie Duncans, his stuff is backed up by, I'm putting this in air quotes for people who can't see me, but he got the data to support the funding.
Okay, I got you. You got the data. What does this data of all these murders that have increased since he got?
That's helping his funding.
Black Death is a hustle.
We know it.
It's the Maze Jackson Show. Finger ready? Let's go.
WIFTVPN.
Today we learned that a Kentucky state grand jury found that the officer responsible for killing Breonna Taylor. Rulings like this one set us back and come as yet another challenge to the hard work and progress we have already made. It means we fight even harder against the systems of inequality and injustice designed to keep too many of us down. We will and we must continue to say her name. We will and we must continue to demand justice. And we will and we must do everything in our power to prevent any more names from being added to this role, like George Floyd, or closer to home, Rekia Boyd, and Laquan McDonald, and too many others. I want you to know that I support you and will do everything in my power to protect you.
Regarding the CBS 2 story last night about the raid on the social worker's home, why did your administration go to court to try and prevent the body camera video from being broadcast? And why is your administration asking a federal judge to punish Miss Young for sharing video of her own home being raided?
And I watched that video.
You need to tell me what you're looking for. What are you looking for?
Now, this case was litigated in federal court. The federal judge put in place an order. There's allegations that she has violated that. A federal judge put rules in place. It's for that judge to determine whether or not that was appropriate. I'm not going to sit here and second guess a federal judge or how the information related to that matter was handled. That's for that judge who I know and is very competent and I'm sure will be fair in assessing.
Oh my God, this cannot be right. How is this legal?
Because COPA has not yet made a decision in 22 months on this.
I just, look, we got to fess up and we got to clean it up.
You have the wrong place. You got the wrong house. You got the wrong house.
We will and we must continue to say her name.
For Ruthie Moore, for Ty Stroger, I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them Maze said, Mayor Lightfoot, man, we ain't accepting that. We ain't accepting that. Let's go. Yeah. Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts. Mayor Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case. He was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover-up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to
travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you could put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gonna sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Miss Ruthie Moore over here bobbing her head.
Listen, that's the Loch Ness Monster.
No,
I thought it was Monster.
No, it's not Loch. I think it's L-O-C-K.
Oh.
Yes, not L-O-C-H.
Oh, that would make sense.
Not, you know, that's how the brothers
Y'all think
do.
the Loch Ness Monster real?
No.
I think it's a
What about
giant
them aliens? Y'all believe
yes.
Trump?
Oh, I believe it's aliens.
I don't believe anything Trump says, so.
But I don't believe Trump, but I do believe it's aliens. I mean, I think it's pretty arrogant of us
They think we're the only people
to
here?
think that we're the only people in the universe. Now, I used to think that was crazy, but now I look like, you know, all the, no, it's, no. And usually when they do the movies about people from everywhere else, that mean they already found it.
It's the precursor, right?
Right. Yep. They like just setting us up. Do y'all remember, what was that movie where the,
Glory.
No. What was the movie where the people were aliens and they came to our Earth and they came on Channel 5? Remember, and Robert Englund was in it. He was
Coneheads.
no, Invaders.
no
V.
V.
Yeah,
remember
right,
V?
right.
Did you ever watch V? And they was like lizards underneath, and they ate the people. That was good stuff. That was good. She was about to say Alf next.
No, what's that movie? Vicky, remember she used to cry? A Small World. It's a small wonder.
No.
It was a robot girl.
No.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, it was like she's a small
wonder.
And she used to
That's
cry.
the Channel 32 Saturday after. That came on like 6 o'clock on Saturday.
See, I ain't that young.
No, that's
No,
you're
you
right.
are.
That's you might have been this. You probably couldn't have turned the channel then, and you didn't have no remote because that was when the remotes went.
You had to go up there and
and then you had to
take your pliers.
Then you had to twist it a little bit so you couldn't.
Did y'all ever put aluminum foil on y'all TV antenna to get a better signal?
No.
Who didn't?
Oh, look, Maze like I didn't. We had
No,
a
we
digital.
didn't.
We had a
We just
digital
know.
tuner.
We just know. No, we didn't.
He
But we just never watched Channel 2.
Hold it and just put her hand up.
Right now, we never did watch Channel 2 though.
Oh,
Like,
just wouldn't
Channel-
come in.
It was too staticky.
Channel 2 has always been a jank channel.
The best one was 7. 7 used to come in.
7
clear.
was Crystal. Faye
Woo,
Flynn,
clear.
boy. I used to love Faye Flynn
Why was it so clear? Why was it so much clearer
because
than
they got
everything
the
else?
biggest antenna.
Oh,
I
dang.
lived in the city. I didn't have those type of problems.
on the lower end.
That's why I was watching.
No. My
Remember,
grandma
y'all
lived
remember,
on
did
low
y'all
end.
have on TV? I used to watch on TV like this.
My parents weren't paying for anything extra.
Mine either. That's why I used to watch it like this.
All right.
Because I'd be trying to
Little
see through the
see
lines.
through the
I
little
seen it. Woo! Remember on TV After Dark? Oh, goodness gracious. Boy,
Yeah,
I almost think I saw. I'm going to stop.
Right.
All right,
I
y'all.
almost think.
All right, y'all. This has been the Maze Jackson Show. It's about time for us to wrap it up. Ruthie,
I'm gonna let
upset
y'all
with
know.
you. No,
I know. I'm gonna come tell y'all. I'm not gonna be back until 2021. So don't think Maze fired me. I'll be back on Tuesday.
Dang, you took Monday too?
Dang.
Y'all stop playing with me.
Well, I'm not coming Sunday.
What
I'll be back.
What kind of stuff is this?
I need to like regroup before the new year. Now you know it's like superstition. I need to wash all my clothes. I need to clean my house.
Yeah, make some.
I
black
can't
eyed
let
peas.
can't let nobody come over my threshold who ain't got no money in their pocket. All of the stuff. I gotta make some black eyed peas.
No, Ruthie, we just
didn't know
don't
that
need
money
no,
thing
no,
was-
no
I ain't
money.
trying to. What you gotta wash because you don't want to wash the money away. See, I just gave y'all a topic for the show tomorrow. Y'all can talk about New Year's superstitions in the
No, we
black
gonna
community.
talk about you tomorrow.
Oh, I call in.
Oh, well, you know what? Since you won't be here, I got to give you your, you got to have a, what is
You got
it?
me a gift?
A resolution.
A
That
New
you-
Year's resolution?
Yeah, your New Year's
No
resolution.
playing with matches.
Ah,
Yeah, right. Stay away from matches. And you and your sister will buy another building.
thank you, Todd.
Oh, that's a blessing.
Todd, come on, speak life, my brother.
No, since we got him going. And Mazes will be, he will enroll in University of Illinois online, or he and Milan will get an apartment together and they'll go to UIC together.
Well, we definitely ain't going to UIC. So it looks
Is
like
that part of the system?
No, not to me.
Not to you.
U of I.
Oh, okay.
University of Illinois.
But you can't go that far.
No, I'm gonna do it online. I'm gonna try and finagle me a honorary. Well, I'm gonna see if I can
Just
write a paper.
get you the degree.
I just want to write the paper. Can I just write like a 30-page paper?
Listen,
I can't answer that question.
Okay, well,
listen, I'm pretty good at writing. I think we could put our heads together and we could write some grants. We might need to get us a social service agency, y'all.
Ruthie, let's
I'm
do
all
it.
for it.
I'm in, and we could talk to Chicago Legal Network about setting it up for us because they got we could even have charitable raffles.
I like that.
I know plenty of people out of work,
and we could get bingo going.
Listen,
let me tell y'all
ain't bingo, but a thing.
I got a bingo. No,
We
I
got a
got
spinner. That's every
Yeah,
politician
I
that's
just
black
bingo.
has one of those. Because that, well. All right, y'all. This has been the Maze Jackson
Y'all
Show.
are so
I got
funny.
so much to do. Ruthie Moore, well, I'm going to tell you what. For this, it has been a pleasure this last 6 months for you to be a part of the team. Probably one of the best decisions that we have made. I thank you for everything that you have contributed.
Oh, yeah.
And
I only will get up and talk to y'all early this morning.
okay, and
Nobody else.
We gon' and we gon' in 2021.
I'm giving up.
We giving you a man.
Can you claim that? Somebody claim that. Not just
Well,
any.
not if you gonna be trained
Not
for
just-
snowblowers.
Not. Listen, you got to be practical with your exchanges.
We got to get you out the
Practicality.
Look, we go and hey, just a splash of transmission fluid oil. That'll be all good. All right, y'all. So for Maze and Ronnie and Ruthie and Todd, I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? Hey, y'all, just one more time, keep my sister Dion Pratt's Kirksey in your thoughts and prayers. And shout out to my man, Donnie Kirksey. May your legacy live on. Thanks, Gino. Getting 300 shots up with the boy yesterday. People was coming to the gym like, dang.
Oh, you gotta tell me next time you go to the gym. I'm a gym rat. I don't need to play him, but I need to work out.
Okay, we'll
I'm
talk
trying
about
to
it all
lose
next
some
time.
of this.
Hey,
I'm gonna be 170 pounds.
Y'all know I've lost a lot of weight for COVID.
You did.
I lost a lot. Like
I thought you was trying to get your body right for your wife.
Man, she probably like, you better go somewhere with that body. All right, y'all, this is the Maze Jackson Show. So it looks like we said everything to everybody else. Stay tuned. Up next, the Book of Dawn. Then we got Muwa Kills World. Then you got the Bigs. They gonna do their year-end recap, and then we close it out with the Herb and Al Show. Hey, y'all, and for those, and you know what? So we are, wait a minute. And I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, Ruthie, you could do this last one. You could tell them.
Ruthie said. Okay, go ahead.
Nah, it's all good. You got it. We'll be back tomorrow. We out of here.